And it says I be live. Let me make the confirmation. And I think this be it.
Alrighty.
I just need to get my live stream music all set and wait for people to come in.
Hi, Realm. I'm Andrew, says Andrew Schaefer.
Yay! Hello there, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew. I am Dad. Oh, did you get a haircut recently?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Yeah, like, it primarily because, you know, it gets really hot in the dry room at work, and because of that, sweat likes to clump my hair together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets pretty
Understandable.
Yeah, it gets pretty gross.
Yeah, you have a better mentality than I do. I'm just letting my hair grow out now.
Oh no, it's like when I was helping my family place the sod for our lawn, friggin' I regret not getting my hair cut before that because like it was just nasty.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because like all the sweat just clumps your hair together. It's just it's very uncomfortable.
Gets
Yeah,
in
like,
my eyes, and it's like no thank you.
Yeah.
I take good care of my hair so it doesn't clump too badly, but yeah. That's usually why I tie it up if I can. Which even then I'm still trying to grow out my side locks so I can tie them properly because lately they've been fighting me. So
I don't know how Brian's hair was, but my hair was kind of in that point where it's like it was long enough to be bothersome if I got sweaty, but it wasn't long enough to really be that it could really be tied up.
Yeah.
For frame reference, my hair is going to my shoulders now.
Yeah. And if you want an idea of my hair, what my hair was before BJ, there's a reason people say I'm IRL Deku.
You mean you're still not?
I mean, shh.
I made a rant on the SS Ultimate Goku, says Andrew.
Okay. And also, that's an Optimus Prime icon.
Oh, wait, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Optimus! Optimus, Benwell. And Super Crazy Crasher's here. Hello
Yay!
there. Super Crazy Crasher, you are a bold one.
So, yeah, things are definitely a little different right now, because, right now I wanted to make art inspired by a really awesome play that I made during the time of Pokemon Unite, which Brandon was able to catch on his stream where I got my very first pentakill.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that is primarily what we are doing here today. We are discussing Pokemon stuff at the moment while I work on artwork here. Currently with me is, the Kooky Celtic, Jordan, Rushitsu Rises, Danny, and BJ, Brawlfan1.
If I knew a lick of Gaelic, I would give you a Gaelic, greeting. I am a terrible Irishman. How's everyone? Oh, yeah, already. Oh, Brian, your chat on the stream's not showing up. It's probably in the background, not the foreground.
No, it.
Oh,
it's,
wait, there it is.
Yeah,
No,
it's,
no, that's
yeah,
good.
it's
just
there.
really tiny.
It's there. It's just. Yeah, it just doesn't like to show up where I want it to.
Weird.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. But, yeah, we all just gonna be here discussing Pokemon stuff, especially since, Season 1 of Ranked for, Pokemon Unite has ended recently.
In fact, as of like a half hour ago, Unite just went on full maintenance, so it's actually inaccessible right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, luckily I did finish my dailies before that happened, so, in your face. But yeah, I guess because I know Jordan right now is the only one who hasn't played Unite at all.
And I don't plan to. Hi, a random viewer appeared. Q's wild battle music. Which
Yeah.
one? Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4?
All of them at once.
Oh god, that's an ear sword!
But
Andrew says, Rom, did you hear Kimi Mora got arrested?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
And I don't think I care.
Yeah, that's a new name to me as well. I did hear today that the voice actor that played as Chairman Bana in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, he passed away today.
Oh no!
Oh.
That sucked. I liked him.
So, like, I guess since BJ and Danny have had their experience with Unite, I guess I'll say where to begin with the game, honestly.
Nerf Zapdos, god damn it!
Well, okay, I think you may be jumping ahead a bit, but yes, nerf Zapdos.
I mean, yeah, that is
Make people love it again.
Yeah,
Don't make people hate it.
that is something that does need to happen. Zapdos does need an alteration.
Like, I already made the proclamation that if they didn't start making some big changes this next season, I was probably gonna just drop the game. Now they did actually make some big changes, so I'm willing to give it a little longer because of those changes. But they still haven't fixed Zapdos. Apparently Regigigas was worth changing, but not Zapdos. Why?
But it's only level 1!
Yeah, because like, to be honest, like I've kind of dropped Pokemon Unite. I don't really keep up with it all that much anymore, and the Zapdos thing was a major reason. I'm well aware that there's other modes of play. Like I know they have like you got your quick play, you got your rank matches, you got regular online matches and shit. And it's like I get all that, and Zapdos doesn't show up in all of them. But really, in the modes that matter. Yeah, that's where Zapdos shows up. And
Ryan is here.
Oh.
Hey! We're bitching about Pokemon Unite.
Missed you, Mang.
And for good reasons too.
Yeah, because yeah, the first season of Rank just ended, so it's like I guess we could like talk about like how nuts the experience has been, because I'm certain Unite was probably like a lot of our first MOBAs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's actually really sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad, guys. If I actually was planning if Ryan showed up to this stream to call him as a degenerate Wigglytuff main, but Wigglytuff got nerfed, so I don't need to make that joke anymore.
Yeah, it's like wait, what was wrong with that?
Okay, so
Like with Wigglytuff.
So apparently, Sing was bugged.
Yeah, so you have
So even after the buff that Wigglytuff initially got, it was still bugged?
It was bugged in its favor. So you've kind of been missing out on it, but Wigglytuff became very quickly since that big buff that it got, Wigglytuff ended up becoming a very big and very annoying just meta Pokemon. Because if you use Sing, you're pretty much guaranteed to kill things. And as it turns out, according to the patch notes that are going to be applied tomorrow, the sleep status was actually was actually glitched. Sleep originally was designed where if you were put to sleep, the moment you were hit by any attack, you would wake up immediately. But that wasn't happening. You would just stay asleep for its full duration, and it was broken.
Yes, so Tenson pulled a Gen 1.
So
interesting.
So Wigglytuff and like Yawn, Snorlax were really good for just no reason. And it didn't help that, once they put you to sleep, they can just shred through your health and just not die. So, a big nerf that Wigglytuff got today was that it's still gonna have the same bulk. Like it's still gonna be just as hard to kill, but they fixed the sleep, so now Sing is not as viable anymore. On top of that, they decreased the amount of damage it can do overall, so it's not hitting as hard anymore.
Okay, so Wigglytuff started out like, okay, Wigglytuff is a bulky Pokemon, but didn't hit as hard, and Sing wasn't all that great. They buffed all of that, and then nerfed Wigglytuff again, as if nothing ever happened.
Well, no, not quite.
Because
Well,
that's certainly what it's sounding like to me.
when it first came out, it was pretty frail actually. Like it was supposed to be tanky, but it was too frail, so they buffed its bulk.
Yeah, like how
And
they
that's,
messed
really,
up.
and that's really all they changed for it. But now its problem is that it deals too much damage and is too hard to kill as a result of that damage. So it still has that bulk that it got from that first buff, but they reduced how much damage it can do now.
So two updates or two patches. Literally the only thing that changed with Wigglytuff overall is Wigglytuff's health, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Pretty
like,
much, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it takes up. Yeah, it does.
That's really dumb.
Yeah, well, like, it takes up. It definitely like takes more like after its support role rather than also just being a pseudo attacker role. Which honestly kind of is like another big problem I do have with Unite, where it's like it just feels like too many Pokemon can just sometimes just be a pseudo attacker when they were meant for another role, specifically looking at you, Blastoise.
Which they did also nerf because, again, I think it's, for the most part, still is going to be a pseudo attacker because they didn't really change it that much. But they did change a major thing with Blastoise, and that was that apparently one of the major things that Blastoise can do, which made it a really just good health shredder, was that when you combined Rapid Spin with Water Spout, it was able to just shred through damage, and you can even still use your basic attacks while shredding with Water Spout. Apparently that was a glitch. It wasn't supposed to be able to use its basic attacks and Water Spout at the same time. So they were able to nerf it on that front effectively by fixing that glitch.
Still, and yet, no reworking on the fucking Zapdos.
Nope, hasn't been touched.
No.
I
Dedicated Zapdos,
honestly
I think.
can't say I'm surprised, really.
And right now, the only thing I can think of as to why that might be, and this is just me hoping and praying, is that they're going to introduce... I feel like if this was actually the case, they would have introduced this today, but they didn't, so it's probably not going to happen. But I was hoping they'd introduce like a new map that didn't with new non-Zapdos related mechanics, and that was probably why they didn't even bother touching Zapdos, because we wouldn't have to worry about it for now. But that doesn't. I'm doubting about that actually being the case, if only because we don't actually hear anything about it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but going back to what I was saying before Ryan showed up, it was like, to me, that is the most frustrating thing, is because, yeah, in the matches that, like, the game modes that actually matter, Zapdos is an important mechanic.
It's a win.
Right, and it's like, it is very frustrating with the way that it's set up now, where it's like, you can literally spend 10 minutes on a match, like, collecting your points, you can go after you can go after the other Pokemon that are out there that can give you maybe defensive buffs or something, that are supposed to help, kind of help you accumulate points. And in the end, all that matters is who is it that gets the killing blow against the Zapdos, and 9 times out of 10, that's a guaranteed win. Yeah. So it really feels like, so you literally wasted 10 minutes, and it's just like ripped away from you like that, and it's like that's very frustrating. And it's not even like it's a situation where it's like, oh, you got like this massive team rebound or anything. It's like, no, like literally you can sit, camp, and hide, and while the other team wails on the Zapdos, and then you kill steal. I can't tell you how many times I've had that happen when I was trying to play ranked matches, and it got so frustrating. I said, fuck it, it's not worth this frustration. I'll play something fun.
Yeah, it really isn't. That is the sad part. Like, so I am hoping they do something to address that, especially since if they're gonna sit there and make the proclamation that they're sitting there listening to feedback and constructive criticism, and we've heard like the most common conversations. If you're gonna sit there and tell me that Zapdos is not a common conversation, you are liars.
Yes.
You are lying somewhere. But like, beyond that though, there are a number of changes or additions, I should say, that they are adding that I do actually like. For starters, it seems like they are going to address the complaints about the pay to win aspect with the held items, because they are now introducing these super item enhancers that you can earn that effectively max out your held items immediately. And these will be accessible to everybody. So that aspect will be better.
Yeah.
They should make a new Pokemon called Zapdos 2, or better yet, Zapdos.
That does exist. It's called Galarian Zapdos.
You're right.
Chase the Chocobo.
Or,
Okay,
as I call them, Superior
I
Zapdos.
thought you said choke the chicken, and I don't know why. What's wrong with me?
It's not even after hours yet.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's like 7 p.m.
Hey, it's after hours somewhere.
Yeah, sure, you're right. But like,
Blah blah blah, blah somewhere.
I mean, yeah, I like to add. I would like to state too. It's like, for the most part, when it did come to Unite, like I did have general like fun with like the regular aspects of the game and whatnot. Like the gameplay itself is fun, and the team and like the team interaction can be really engaging, and just overall being able to outplay your opponent, like, and just being able to just show. Fuck, I'm fumbling over my words, but it's like,
okay, go ahead.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, like the overall general aspects of the game itself, I think is a good time. Like I wouldn't say that I hated everything that I played of the game. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep playing it, because there are aspects about it that do make me keep coming back.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm not gonna. This isn't going to be a spiel about how, like, garbage teammates and whatnot, because that's not the game's fault. Alright, that's just MOBAs in general. You're going to run into dipshits regardless. Like, you can...
It is the game's fault. They shouldn't let them play.
Oh yeah, especially when you run into horrible players literally back to back to back to back.
Yeah, but it's like, that's not necessarily the game's fault. That's just humanity being immune to... It's like this. Natural selection's a thing, it's just humans are too stupid to follow it.
Well, okay, to be fair to some bad players, if they're kids, it's fine. Kids are still learning.
Like, if it's
But it's another thing entirely, let me finish. It's another thing entirely if, they're either playing bad on purpose to piss people off, or they're just genuinely bad at the game and they need to be sat down and said, okay, real talk, you're kind of bad at this.
Yeah, yeah, griefers and idlers, because we've run into some of those.
Yeah, like, why would you
even
be
more than that? Like,
AFC?
this is for Brian and I, especially considering our ranks, but like, it's even more apparent and frustrating the higher in ranks you go, because it's like you're only supposed to be able to face people that are around the same rank as you. So it's like, how are you still this bad this high up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you put it that way, yeah, then there's no excuse. Never mind.
Like, if you're just playing a normal, like a regular standard match, where anyone can play regardless of their actual playability, yeah, that's one thing. That's fine. That's no big deal. But yeah, when it's ranked and you're paired with people that are supposed to be around the same skill level as you, it doesn't seem like it actually knows how to properly do that.
Yeah.
You're raging like Gordon Ramsay with that one chef who just froze like a deer in the headlights on live TV.
Well, there's that, and then there's also, like, when they give you like the daily rewards and such, where it's like, oh, you get points for getting X amount of kills or something. It's like, of course, that's going to encourage people to focus more on, oh, I'm just gotta get as many kills as possible, as opposed to team synergy, which is the entire point of the game.
Yeah.
Well, with the exception of one of those specifically, a lot of those you can get just naturally through playing the game, because for the most part, you should be knocking out people. You should be getting goals, all of that such. But there is one that Brian and I both agree on that does need to go, and that's being rewarded for getting MVP.
Yeah, like the MVP missions need to go.
That encourages
Right.
like selfish play styles.
Yeah.
Right, and you know, and especially, and I must be the fucking rarity here, but you know, the Pokemon I played, I don't tend to play like your big attackers or anything. I'm your supports. Like I played Eldegoss. I'm the healer. I'm never gonna be MVP because I'm focused on keeping the team alive.
Yeah,
I
Danny
was-
is definitely a cleric style player. I mean, you played as Charla for the entirety of Xenoblade DE.
Like hell, I'll let the computer dictate my healing. I'll do it myself.
Right.
Like, I was actually talking to Sophia about this the other day. I feel like something they should do to help to determine, like, if they want to keep the MVP thing at all, that's fine. But I feel like they should change it a little bit to let the actual players themselves have a say in who they actually feel should be MVP.
Yeah, like, if actually, because, yeah, they kind of have a little something with that where, you know, you can give your teammates good jobs and whatnot.
Yeah, so I'd say, like, have like an optional little, like some kind of like optional little scoring system, or maybe not even optional, like just something you have to do to progress, you know, and like you can only vote for your teammates, you can't vote for yourself, and you vote in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 the best, 4 the worst, based on the performance you watch them do, and then the game can calculate based on what the players
Crystal?
voted for, as well as the current system for determining MVPs to determine a true MVP. Because you could have a player who might be getting a lot of scores, but if them scoring is hindering their team more often, I guarantee you their teammates are not going to want them to be MVP.
Yeah.
So that will encourage players to actually want to to actually want to be team players. Then they'll be more likely to actually help out and to properly encourage their fellow teammates to pick them as the best player on the team, you know, for reasons that involve them actually earning it, as opposed to just, you know, cheating the game and screwing your team over.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Danny's the medic, charge me, doctor.
Like my idea might
Eat your puff.
Like my idea might be a little fine tuning, because obviously I imagine that there are people that probably just won't care, and they'll just skip over, like they'll mash the A button just to get through it. But
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah, that's just some things that you'll just end up having. But it's like the option would be nice.
yeah,
Yeah, especially since it's like you could also see it as a way of like being able to give team members criticism and whatnot. It's like, you know, okay, it's like you didn't, like, you could maybe like because yeah, you have like different categories of like, you know, how well did this person like aid the team, did they do their objectives, how well were they at, you know, helping the team stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
I just cracked my thumb.
Ow.
Don't worry, it felt good.
Bill. Ow.
Huh?
It's a
Hey,
Jen.
it's Jen.
Yo,
Yeah.
sorry I'm late.
No problem.
Applesauce and pork chops, man,
Yeah, but-
delish.
Yeah, but I guess if there's some things that I can do at the very least, I can at least give some tips to like try to help like play better at Unite. If like say you're still gonna go at it, but like maybe there's some areas in which you're still struggling at. The first thing, of course, mind your goddamn lane. Like like know what lane that people are going down, because me and BJ have faced games where like despite some of us like despite maybe like me calling Central first, someone else will just be like, no, I want to go Central.
It is Ruby music.
At this point, it needs to be first come first serve. If you're not if you're not fast enough to pick the lane you want, just cut your losses.
Yeah.
Don't be stubborn about it.
Yeah. Unless you think that you can somehow jungle better, but in that case, you better prove it.
If anything, MVP could just be a thing that's nothing more than a pat on the back and not counted for points. If anything, just a small amount of point.
Mhm.
I feel like the simplest solution overall is just to remove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if it doesn't work on a fundamental level, then it needs to go.
Yeah. Or at the very least, remove the missions that requires you to get it.
Yeah.
Right. I struggle against leveling up and keeping opponents at bay.
The other tip that I can give is that at early game, if you have someone in the jungle, leave them be in the jungle. We don't need two junglers.
And don't take
Insert
the
in the
either.
jungle here.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
yeah. The only time where honestly I am kind of okay with people like going in the jungle and taking stuff is like late game when like people need to farm and they need the experience. It's like, okay, like that can be a quick pick me up to like try to get you guys up to the higher levels. At that point, it's like it's fine. I don't necessarily need the buffs at that point anymore, but like early game, it's like, yeah, I do kind of need them.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, too, is don't overextend, because there are too many times I have seen players where they end up dying because they go out too far and they end up getting caught in a 2v1 and they perish.
Mm-hmm. Actually, like, here's something that kind of bugs me personally,
Yeah.
and part of this does go towards, the fact that I'm primarily an Eldegoss player.
Yeah.
The targeting, when you try to do attacks and such, it's like, it's really weird because it's like I'll go to be like, like you get like one of like the way Eldegoss primarily heals, it uses the cotton attack where if you throw it on an ally, it heals them. If you throw it on an enemy, it does damage.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Powerpuff. It's like if, like, let's say for example, like the three of us are in a match, like on one team, and we're going up against somebody else, and it's like, Brian, I see you're low on health, but you happen to be attacking another Pokemon. If I go to do the Powerpuff, it's like I have to physically target you
Yeah.
because it will always prioritize the opponent. And it's like I understand that for regular attacks, but yeah, with a support move like that, and it's like, oh, Brian needs the health more than anything, and it's like I'm in the heat of the moment, and it's like I'm like, okay, Powerpuff, I gotta go hit it, and it flies over you and goes to the opponent, and it's like, no, I wanted to heal you.
I think that's mostly a complication of Pollen Puff specifically, because that is the only move that both attacks and heals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will also say this too, because that is another criticism I do have with Pokemon Unite. The aiming in the game is absolute trash.
It is.
Like, it's... BJ, you've seen it before in one match. I'm trying to hit this Slowbro that's right in front of me. My Water Shuriken are instead going for the fucking Gardevoir in the back.
Yeah.
So, wait, what you're trying to say is everyone has Stormtrooper aim?
Yeah. Yeah. The game only aims properly when it feels like it.
So, Stormtrooper aim.
I mean, if you turn off a lot of the auto aim, it does make things a little simpler. But yeah, there definitely are still some complications. I think a part of that is because I feel like the game overall does have this is probably just a network problem with the game. I feel like the game overall does have a bit of input delay, and I think that's what causes some of the issues.
Actually, no. I actually do kind of know what it is, because it's like when you do start, when like you are getting into combat, you do have a reticle that will appear on something, and the game has a hard time snapping that lock off onto something compared to like the target that you actually want.
Well, I think that's the big reason why you generally want the manual aim too.
Yeah. Well, like even with the manual aim on, it's like even then, like it'll just
Like, guys,
snap
I'm
to
gonna
certain
tie my
things.
hair.
Yeah, like it'll still just snap to the things that you don't want it to.
Right.
And that's something I do feel needs to be fixed. Like, we do need to have like a better aiming system, so that way like you actually can't. So that way, even if you do like want to go for auto aim, it actually does work.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I will mention too, and that's
I think I got most of it.
and
Got name rank. Awesome, Crystal.
yeah, the other thing I will also mention, and that's I know this will definitely be something you'll like hearing, Danny. Your support units are your best friends. Do not let them die, and they won't let you die.
Exactly. It's like this. With all of the years of the MMORPGs, like the World of Warcrafts and shit out there, you would think by now you would think by now people would understand. Protect your fucking healers.
Yeah, because like
I know it's a very unique play style. It's healers in any game. It's the job that you want in your party, but it's the job that nobody wants to fucking do. I get it. Trust me, I do. That's part of the reason why I got into being a healer in the first place. But it's just
I actually have some funny World of Warcraft stories back in the day when I used to still play it.
Yeah, but basically it's like, you would think like by now we would have this ingrained in our heads that it's like, yeah, your supports are your best friends. If anything, you want to keep them alive.
yeah,
And yet people are like, yeah, now we can we can go without them. It's like, fuck no, you can't.
yeah, like I have had matches where people like try to take on an enemy, and then they'll see like oh, the whole team's now coming down here, and suddenly they're out faster than Usain Bolt, leaving me behind to die because I had to catch up with them because they decided, oh, I'm gonna go closer to enemy base. It's like, buddy, you might be getting a little too close. Oh, look, there they all are. Oh, look, there he goes, leaving me to die.
You went too
Oh,
far.
time's up.
The
Leroy
medic
Jenkins.
isn't the one killing everyone, but they're the reason everyone's dead. Learn this.
Yeah,
Also, in D&D terms, the Divine Soul Sorcerer has nothing on the Life Cleric.
Yo, what's up? I'm Divine Sorcerer right here.
Yeah, well, you're also multi-classing into a,
Warlock. Celestial Warlock, to be
Celestial
precise.
Warlock.
yeah, so yeah, like
Andrew
yeah.
Schaefer asked, "Hey Realm, I have a question for you. Would you rather watch Naruto or Inuyasha?"
My Hero
How
Academia.
about, yeah, it's like, yeah, how about you just not watch trash?
Wow.
But another thing that I will also give a tip to is that and this is actually something that I made mention on Twitter before, and it's funny enough because some time ago I saw an article that someone made about like tips to like get better at Unite, and one of them is that if you're not scoring in the game, then you're not doing good at the game. You're gonna have a bad one. I highly disagree with that. Like, I don't care how many points that you scored in the game. If what you do is keeping your team in the lead, that's all I care about.
Yeah, it's like normal sportsmanship.
Yeah, like it's because you can still win without having a player score a single point. You just stop them from scoring more points. That's literally how you play the game. And just, I don't know, just this idea that you have to score points, otherwise you're not useful, is, gonna be honest, that's kind of toxic.
No, not even kind of. It is toxic.
Yeah, and
Yeah, don't throw kind of on that.
yeah, like, and the thing too is like, the game already makes people toxic enough.
Right. And it's like, again, to fall back on, my freaking role on as the Eldegoss, but it's like, I am not focused on killing, and I'm really not focused on scoring goals. I mean, I'll score goals if I'm able to, but my primary focus is keeping the team alive.
Yeah, and
I want to keep them. I want to keep them alive so they can get the kills, so they can score the goal.
yeah,
I
and
might
feel like
get
that's
the rebounds,
appropriate.
but that's it.
And I feel like that's appropriate for the healer. Yeah, and the funny thing too is that article was even like, oh, no one's gonna care if you get like 12 or 15 kills. And I'm like, yeah, but those 12 and 15 kills stop them from scoring, so suck it.
Suck my dick.
Yeah,
off, baby.
I contributed.
Also, if you're getting 12 or 15 kills in one game, you're actually just really good at the game.
Yes, seriously.
You're like Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar when he was killing the entire Separatist faction.
Yep. Another thing I would also suggest, if Zapdos has not appeared yet, don't surrender.
Yeah.
Because there are games where our team has surrendered before Zapdos even appeared, and it's like, guys, if we kept at it and planned on the Zapdos fight, we probably could have taken it back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, if they were willing to surrender before the Zapdos even showed up, like, do you really think they would even stand a chance at getting the Zapdos?
Well, that's kind of the thing, though, because it's like, getting Zapdos doesn't take any skill whatsoever. You just have to be the guy who gets the last hit on it. Doesn't matter what you do. Like, you could, like... Actually, Danny, I actually uploaded a clip of this one time, but, like, we were behind in a game, and I was playing as Blissey, because, like, that's honestly the one support role that I really do like playing, it is Blissey. And, I kid you not, I helped us win the game by walking up the Zapdos, and... mine. Right in the middle of everyone ripping it to shreds.
Nah.
Yeah, did you, like, cherry tap it?
Yeah, I just used a basic attack and slapped it, and just... mine. It just ran to the fucking goal.
Like, alright, who wants dinner?
As funny as that is, you know, that goes back to my point earlier about, you know, yeah, where people will literally camp and wait until Zapdos is low enough on health and they'll freaking kill steal.
Yeah.
Like, I know BJ had mentioned that, like, an idea that he thought would be more effective on how to handle the Zapdos is that whoever gets the Zapdos, it's not who gets the killing hit, it's who did the most damage. The side that did the most damage on the Zapdos when it dies, that's what gets the Zapdos. And it's like, I would think that would be far more effective. I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, the effect that you get from it is still pretty fucking busted, but it at least rewards the team that actually tried to take it down.
Yeah.
My only issue with that is my only issue with that is that I feel like it can make the fight a bit more one-sided, because if the enemy team are already at Zapdos and they get it below half health, then, like, you might as well not even try to go there, because you're gonna lose it.
Yeah, or if they excel in, like, power setups.
Well, the thing is, too, the thing about that, too, Brian, is that if people are aware that it's most damage as opposed to, you know, last hit, people are going to be more prone to meeting up in the center before Zapdos even shows up more often, and there's going to end up being big team fights in the center beforehand.
That is also true.
So, like, if people are going to want to be a lot more preemptive for the most part.
Yeah. But, like, I guess that also does kind of go into something that I can suggest for, like, the Zapdos fight. Regardless if you're in the lead or not, don't go after Zapdos if the enemy team is still alive, because they will steal it.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to team-based gameplay on a Nintendo console, I'd say Splatoon beats this by a long shot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can agree to that, mostly because I played Splatoon 2 far longer. Like I said, like, after, like, a few weeks or something, I put Pokemon Unite down, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. But, you know, I at least played Splatoon 2 for a, you know, decent amount of time. Played through multiple Splatfests.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like, you know, yeah, that is something, because, yeah, that is something to consider as well, where it's like, you know, the best time to take out Zapdos is when, like, majority of the enemy team are dead, or if all of them are dead.
Freaking Thunderbird.
You freaking Thunderbird.
Why did they make people hate Zapdos? It's
I
my
love-
favorite bird.
I love Zapdos too, but it's like, guys, come on.
It's not even the fact that it's the best bird competitively, but also, I just like Zapdos.
Articuno's cooler.
I mean, I don't get me wrong, I do like Articuno a lot too. I love it design-wise. I think it's just because, personally, I feel uncomfortable using Ice types because of how frail they are. But I'm not gonna knock Articuno. or any Pokemon except Ladybug, but every Pokemon has something to like.
Yep.
Except Ladybug.
Yeah. Speaking of ladybugs, those are on Aroma Park, and you can murder them.
Okay, if I ever got interested in playing Unite, which is very unlikely in this universe, I would just probably spend most of the game murdering every ladybug I see on that map.
Yeah, like, in fact, actually, I will go into that a bit too, because like, I do kind of want to talk about the quick play maps, and I'm gonna say this: Aroma Park is the only good one. I think the other ones are not. I think the other two maps are not great. I don't like them. Like,
Yeah.
quick
What
play
the hell,
Mer.
Aaron?
Okay, so quick play Mer Stadium is just Zapdos appears over and over and over again, and that's it. And you already know our feelings about Zapdos.
Me sitting here petting my legendary bird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Chevra City, I like even less because it's honestly the most brain dead of all the maps. So, basically how it is that, so you have 2 lanes that you go down. Now, there is a center lane, but not too much happens on that lane. But basically, the map has 2 goals. One on your side, one on the opponent's side. And after you KO a certain after you get a certain number of KOs, you fill up a gauge. And when you fill it up completely, the next goal that you score is an instant dunk. Like, you don't have to wait for a charge in order to, like, put all your points in. It's just, you become a mini Zapdos, you get an instant dunk. Which, it's like, you know, yeah, the strategy's just kind of brain dead at that point. It's like, you know, oh, you gather all the points that your Pokemon can possibly carry, fill that gauge up, walk over to the enemy goal, dunk for free. That's all you do for, like, 5 minutes.
wow.
And, also another thing is that, did you know that both sides of the field have speed zones that make you run faster, and the trail is lined with berries so you can heal along the way, making scoring even easier? Like, it just honestly gets to the point in, like, a Chevra City where it's like, what's the point of trying to defend the goal when they can just dunk for free anyway? And on top of that, it's like, the team that ends up getting, like, the major level advantages first, they're just gonna win the entire thing. Because, like, if you get behind levels at all in Chevra City, you might as well just quit the game. You're not gonna catch up. Because they're just gonna keep picking you off over and over and over again. It's like, you know, it's a map that goes on for 5 minutes, but the first minute already determines the winner.
Oof.
And I don't like that. Oh, and also, at the center, Avalugg appears. What happens when you KO Avalugg? Everyone on your team gets increased defenses, and your goal is protected by a barrier. And it's also the easiest map to spawn camp people on, because even though they added, you know, invincibility upon respawning, the hallway that you end up going down in order to get back to the actual map, you end up losing that invincibility once you go out anyway, and it's just, if your enemies are already there, they can just pick you off again.
Yeah.
Damn campers.
Yeah, so like it's
It just makes me want Pokken too.
yeah, like it's just I don't like the map because it's just way too brain dead. It's way too easy to just get the upper hand on the opponent. It's just there's no actual real strategy to it. Like it's just fill up a gauge, dunk my points, get higher levels, and that's it. Meanwhile, Aroma Park is straight up my favorite one. Mainly because, I'm gonna be honest here, it's probably the most fair of the maps. So, you have 2 goals, and either team can score in any one of them. But there's a catch. Anytime you score a goal, that goal now becomes a ×2 multiplier. So, what happens is that any goal scored during that time frame now gets doubled. So, you score 4 points in a goal, it becomes a ×2 goal. Say maybe you get 8 more points to dunk, that 8 becomes a 16. And it resets the timer. However, your opponent can take advantage of this, where you decide to score the first point, it becomes a ×2 goal. Suddenly, your opponents come along, dunk all of their points in, and they reap off of the mistake that you made.
Oof.
Oh, yeah.
So the optimal strategy is to combo score with your team. So, like, the person with the lowest amount of points scores first, then lets their team come in and score the rest of their points to maximize how much they can get out of the goal. So,
Hey
like,
guys, Jake is here, so I'll be back in a bit.
okay. But yeah, it's like, I like it because it's the one map that really encourages team play the most.
Good.
Which is the point of the fucking game.
Yeah.
And Regigigas, again, honestly, one of the more fair legendaries that you go after. Like, they did change it, like, for the patch.
Yeah, they actually with this update, they're changing it a little bit. Like, because beforehand, all killing it does is just give you and the rest of your team points to score with. Now what it does is that it creates a scoring speed boost for your entire team.
Yeah.
So you score faster now.
It effectively gives you both a goal getter as well as a score shield.
Huh. Thanks, Grandpa Reggie.
Which
Which-
honestly still is pretty fair.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because, like, you can still get crushed before you can, like, get to the goal. And even then, it's like... Because, yeah, that's all you would end up getting. You still have to be able to be skilled enough to, like, get your team to a goal in order to, like, dunk on them and maximize your points. So, like, yeah, like, it honestly is, like, the more fair of the legendaries, like, you can... Of the more, like, legendaries you can encounter. I say this like Avalug's a legendary.
Avalug's not a legendary. Though I can see why you would think so, because hardly anyone talks about Kalos.
But...
Or Kalos.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like... Yeah, that's primarily the main reason I like the map, because, like, it really is the most fair of them. Like, anytime I feel like something bad goes on, it does feel like we were just legitimately outplayed. Where it's like, you know, compared to other games where it's like, oh, we won because we got the one last hit on Zapdos, or we won because we abused the brain-dead structure of Chevra City. With that said, with that said, though, I will also suggest another thing is that learn how the maps work.
Learn how the maps work, and learn the common patterns too.
Yeah, because, like, yeah, BJ, there was a match I had in Shiver City one time where we had the Zeraora player who as soon as he got 2 points, he immediately went to the enemy goal. And that boy became past tense pretty quick.
You've been
So I
using
guess-
Bastards a lot more lately.
So I guess in your opinion, Brian, from what you've seen, like of the playable Pokemon, which do you feel needs buffs and nerfs?
Garchomp needs help.
And it is getting a little bit more help with this next improvement. Like with this next patch tomorrow, they're increasing its defenses, and they're also, if I'm understanding this correctly, they're making its ability Rough Skin activate more often. So it is going to be a little harder to kill.
I think the personal issue with Garchomp is that it evolves way too late. That's its biggest problem, because, like, it takes to level 10 for you to get Garchomp.
Well, that's the same for Ralts.
Yeah, well, it is, but, like, Ralts at least has the advantage of being able to fight at a range, where Garchomp's biggest problem is the best way to beat it, walk away from it. It
Yeah,
literally
like, I can
can't do it.
understand.
It literally can't do anything.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I can understand if you're trying to adhere to the main series with how long it takes to evolve, but even then, Garchomp only takes, like, what, level 48 to evolve in the game?
But,
Well, it's not even really that, because, like, if that were the case, then
I did say if they were trying to.
Well, yeah, because if that were really the case, then all of the starter Pokemon would have the same level of evolutions, but that isn't the case. Like some
Yeah.
some get their final evolutions at 7, others get their final evolutions at 10.
Again, I stress.
Yeah.
I said if,
Yeah.
but I don't think they are going in that direction. They just wanted to try and balance Garchomp in one way, but they did it the completely wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, like, you get Garchomp in a crowd and it'll absolutely do work, because that boy hits hard, but, like, in a lot of other instances, it's like, if you're trying to catch up to, like, somebody, like, trying to take him out with Garchomp, good luck.
But you are right, though. Like, its lack of range is its biggest problem on that front, and that actually really is the same problem that Talonflame has.
Yeah, Talonflame's another one that does need a bit of help,
Talonflame,
too.
I feel, honestly, is probably the poorest designed Pokemon in the game, because its whole strategy involves around hit and run, but hit and run strategies are literally a detriment in this game. You cannot be doing that. And the reason why it's hit and run is because it has only close combat moves. It hits really hard, but it gets shredded so easily. It is a glass cannon through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the biggest problem is its main means of being able to get away are also its hardest hitting attacks. So it's either you swoop in, get a couple of cheap shots in, and get away, or you go in with a really big hit, but then have no means of being able to get away.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that unfortunately Gale Wings also stops activating once Talonflame takes damage.
Yeah. I should have given it a boost.
It's like, man, ever since Gen 6 occurred, Talonflame was just a beast among birds, but then after that they're like, nah, we're gonna gut this thing.
We're gonna break its
Talonflame
talons.
is another one that it's hard to say that it even really needs buffs. It needs a rework. Like it needs a new attack, like something long range or something that or hell, U-turn. U-turn would be a great move for it. I feel. Like, if you're gonna make it hit and run, give it an attack that actually utilizes hit and run.
Yeah, because
Yeah, but something tells me they won't go with that.
yeah, but
Because actually, I should actually stress this for Talonflame as well. Talonflame is designed to be hit and run, but it's not hit and run. It's hit or run.
Hit or run, exactly.
yeah, like honestly, in general, like a lot of some of the speedsters do kind of need help. Like Absol's getting a bit more help.
Yeah.
And like Absol's a weird Pokemon because it's like it's really good early game, but then late game it struggles because everything's getting stronger.
Yeah. But like, because like a big thing for Talonflame, like, it really needs to have some kind of ranged move too, because we were talking about this earlier, Brian, how Greninja also is kind of a hit and run Pokemon, but it's able to do it so much easier because it has dedicated moves for both attack and escape. Plus, it has a lot of ranged options. So when your hit and run in this game is really only effective if you can hit from afar.
Yeah. And I did go looking at some of the moves that it can learn, and we're like, why doesn't it have Heat Wave?
Yeah.
That would be perfect for a team-based game.
Yeah. And yeah, but in fact, like the only speedster in Unite that is just consistently broken is Zeraora.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Zeraora is just absolutely dumb.
And that's
I know, it's like I think of all the player Pokemon, I think Zeraora is the one that I hate going up against the most.
Me too.
agree.
It's discharge.
That is 98% because of discharge.
Yeah. It's,
Like,
that
they keep, and even with this recent buff, this recent patch, they keep trying to buff the alternative, Wild Charge, but no one uses Wild Charge. They always go for Discharge.
Yeah.
They gotta nerf Discharge.
Yeah, because it's like, because the reason that move is so dumb is because it does damage on like every frame the move is out. That's so dumb.
Like what? Do they keep using the two moves together? Does it translate differently in?
No, I doubt it. But like,
Yeah, I doubt it too. But
like I feel like a big thing that they can do for Discharge is reduce the amount of like individual hits that it has between frames.
Yeah, like make it not like hit as many times.
Like, I'd say you can keep the damage output, but yeah, like, reduce the... Because actually, here's the thing. They actually did do that for Zeraora, but with a different move. Slash, one of its beginner moves. They reduced the amount of attack, individual hits that it does, but increased its damage. They did this specifically so that way it's less likely to crit. And they probably should do the same thing with Discharge. Like, Because if you look at like moves like Stealth Rock, like on Crustle, like if like or most moves like Water Spout or Fire Blast, moves that like have like an area that like you like trap moves. You know, you watch their health go down as enemy Pokemon are stepping in them, but they don't go down constantly. They go down in slow increments. Discharge should do the same.
Yeah.
Malik, Malik, I guess maybe wants me some more clarification on Absol. Like, does Absol struggle? I had many more matches where Absol hits me hard, even late.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Like I said, Absol's a weird Pokemon because its one win condition is being 2 levels above the enemy. If it can maintain that, then yeah, Absol's still gonna like wreck hard. But like, a lot of times the way that Absol tends to like play out in games is that yes, it starts out strong because a lot of the enemy team is in like their weaker form, so they're easier to pick off. But once they start to close the gap, when they start evolving and gaining more strength, Absol starts to fall off a bit because everything else is just doing a lot of big damage, and Absol can't take that.
It's not even just it's that, but there is also another factor to Absol as well, and this comes from my sister, who is an Absol main. Absol is effectively RNG dependent. It relies on getting crits.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not fair.
Yeah, and granted, its ability Super Luck does help with that as well. Like, if you give it like a focus lens to like increase the critical hit rate chance, but even then, you're just increasing the chances.
Yeah.
So pretty much like an ineffective rogue,
And
which is a fundamental RPG class that relies on critical hits to do massive damage, even though they themselves are frail.
yeah,
Why would you RNG that?
I don't know.
Nope.
And then you have Gengar, who's just kind of in a weird middle.
Yeah, Gengar. A lot of people think that Gengar's in this weird spot where a lot of people think it's broken, but it actually really isn't.
Yeah.
Like it's like, cause like if you look at it like what like a lot of people are doing and like the like what a lot of the common Pokemon in the late like higher ranks, you hardly ever see Gengar. You
Yeah.
don't.
And the main
Obviously you don't see Gengar very much because it's a ghost.
He's going into space.
Yeah, he is going into space.
Nice.
With every journey you take, be rewarded with
Actually, I pointed this out to Brian earlier.
where
Gengar with that costume, it's literally Among Us.
Yeah.
They took the one bean-shaped Pokemon and gave it a spacesuit. It's Among Us.
Yeah.
They made it.
I actually made a pretty obscure reference. How many of you guys heard of Echo Night Beyond?
I think that says everything.
Yeah.
It's a horror game that takes place in space. It builds on the idea of, space is scary because can you imagine dying so far away from home?
That.
Death.
You couldn't even be there for your own funeral. You die in space.
I'm pretty sure that was also the pitch for Dead Space.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's like the original Alien movie. The tagline was, in space, no one can hear you scream.
Although the main thing is you don't deal with aliens so much as you deal with ghosts. And we know how dangerous specters can be. Imagine them in space.
Oof.
And on a completely debilitated space station. Oh, and there's also a fog that fucks with your systems.
But yeah, yeah, like in terms of like all the speedsters, yeah, Zeraora honestly is like the most viable of all of them.
That is not fair.
Yeah.
Because a big thing with speedsters too is also that, like a lot, they're designed to be high pressure Pokemon, like to get in quickly, get a lot of really strong hits in, and then be able to chase down if need to or get away if need to. They're supposed to be high pressure, so I feel like the only one that really fits that goal that one properly is Zeraora, because Zeraora for the most part can't handle staying in a lot of these matches.
Yeah.
Hi, Monty. Most standard matches for me, especially when losing, Zeraora main breaks his back carrying his team.
Yeah, and you know what, as he should. And also, while we're on Zeraora, Game Freak, Why is it not electric fighting?
Why isn't it? That would be
It
a
literally
perfect
has
type for it.
Aura in its name. Come on.
Yeah, like in the main series, it's pure electric, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It needs a fighting subtype.
Yeah, and on
It
top of
needs to be more, okay with the idea of changing their Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, not giving them evolution based on the region, no. Changing the Pokemon themselves. Like, give Mawile and Sableye comparable stats to their Megas. Not entirely, but comparable.
and on
You know,
top
things
of
like that.
on top of that, electric fighting hasn't been done yet.
No, it hasn't. It would be an awesome type.
Yeah, like that would have been a unique typing for Zeraora, but it's like, nah, just pure electric. But why though?
Yeah, they didn't even do it for Gen 9. I wouldn't care.
I mean, I
Hey,
don't really,
say HC
even
Grunt.
based on what I know about Zeraora, like seeing it in the anime and such, it's not really a martial artist Pokemon. It mostly relies on like
I mean-
on slashes.
I mean, keep in mind, that's how they're interpreting it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I will also say too is that it doesn't necessarily need to be a quote unquote fighter, either like a type of martial arts to be a fighter.
Yeah, you know what?
Like
Let
it could
me
just
take a
be
look at
beast
the-
style.
Yeah, like, let me take a look at its learn set. See how many fighting moves it knows.
It gets close combat, but that's about all I know.
There's Power Punch, Quick Guard. I'll just... So...
Yeah, and you know what? You know what? Give Zeraora Gunk Shot, and it could probably check fairies that think it could probably get a quick kill on the thing, because, hey, you're part fighting. Okay, Zeraora, use Gunk Shot. Fuck.
So it'd be a dirty fighter.
Yeah. I mean, why not? It's a wild beast.
It learns 16 fighting moves, including egg moves and TM.
Right. So, yeah, why not let Zeraora get stab off of that?
Yeah, so it has some proficiency with fighting.
Yeah.
moves.
Yeah, like...
And looking at its base stats, yeah, it is mostly a physical attacker.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah, like, give that boy some physical fighting stab.
Yeah, like some Pokemon do have roundabout ways of why their typing is the way it is. Like Sudowoodo is a pure rock type, because, you know, it's a rock pretending to be a tree. It's based off of the animal, real-life phenomenon known as mimicry.
Yeah.
It's pretending to be a tree to defend itself.
Yeah.
We're doing quite well, CHC Grunt.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, we're just talking about... Some of us are just talking about Pokemon, talking about, some of us are talking about our experiences with Unite, because, yeah, the season is over, and it's like, yeah, me and BJ are the only people here who actually made it to Masters.
I'm surprised you had the patience.
With
With all
Sorry
the
for
bullshit,
giving you guff
all
about
the
that, Brian, by the
bullshit
way.
with all the bullshit that you went through and posted and stuff, I'm like, my God, you have the patience of a saint.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't that patient.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is probably not going to be as patient anymore, because it's like, I don't know, they honestly would have to have a good reason to, like, try to persuade me to keep wanting to go for it. Because if all the prize, because the prize for getting to Masters is 20,000 EOS tickets, which is really good. But if that's all they're going to give, then at some point it's just going to be like, I don't know why I should keep trying, because I'm going to eventually run out of uses for these things.
Yeah, especially since, because like the main reason to get them for this first season is mostly for item enhancers.
Yeah.
But now they're introducing a function that effectively makes item enhancers obsolete. So
Yeah.
all you have for them now are friggin' customization. Which,
Yeah.
Who cares?
Give Poison the buff for Gen 9 because Gen 6 ruined it, save for Corrosion, and that was Gen 7. I'm with Malik. In what way does it need to be buffed? There was a time he actually broke on Jordan's stream. Who?
Oh, he's talking about me.
Oh, you did?
On your
Oh, gosh,
stream
what was
for Spyro.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, you were getting mad.
Yeah. Because, because that's just what happens. You just run into bad
Anyway,
players.
Again, I'm sorry if I gave you guff during that whole thing.
No, you're good.
It was already stressful.
You're
So-
good. It's, yeah, I mean, that just happens.
But yeah, back to Poison. Isn't it already effective towards fairy types, or do you think it still needs an addition besides corrode?
It's effective towards fairies and grass.
Fairies and grass, not much else.
Yeah, not much else. I do think it gives you some resistances with, like, some of the typing. Like, I don't know. I feel like poison is at least an okay type. Like, at least, like, a lot of the moves you can get with, like, poison typings is still, like, pretty good stuff. Like, you get things like Sludge Wave, you get, Gunk Shot's good.
It is also a type with very, very little weakness. It's only weak to it's only weak to Psychic and Ground, which, I guess, to be fair, are two of the strongest types.
Yeah.
So that kind of balances out. Honestly, I love Poison as a defensive type, not as much as Water Ground, mind you, but Poison is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, Weezing is one of my favorite Pokemon, actually. Because it's not meant to be an attacker, it's meant to be a wall, and it's really good at being a wall.
I guess maybe to go into a topic that I know usually gets a lot of people discussing things. So, if they were to add any more Pokemon into Pokemon Unite, who would you want to see?
Ignoring, like, favoritism bias, one Pokemon that I would really like to see is Zoroark.
Yeah, like, how would Zoroark work with, like, its illusion stuff?
Yeah, a spy class of some kind.
I am going to keep my favoritism in mind. I think the one thing that would probably get me to play Unite, although I will be a really bad player, is Espeon. I know Sylveon is part of the game, or is going to be part. I don't know. I don't follow it, but
yep.
If they were to add more evolutions to it, Espeon's a must.
Yeah.
Because I love Espeon.
Yeah. I know I want to see my boy Tyranitar. Why is he not already there?
I mean, you already got Greninja.
I mean, I do have Greninja, but I would also like to see my boy T-Tar.
Probably for the same reason why Tyranitar didn't get a G-Max form, despite literally being Godzilla.
You know what? Have me work for Pokemon. I'll do things right.
No, again, like, the thing with Game Freak 2, well, just in general, I feel like because they're being made to release Pokemon games in such a small time frame is probably why they made boneheaded decisions like not releasing Stoutland as one of the first Pokemon in Galar despite it being a Scottish Terrier. I'm still mad about that, by the way. I mean, they got it back, I know, but they have such attention to detail, it's annoying when they get it wrong. I know it's pathetic to say, but I love Pokemon, and I know they can do better because they have done better.
Yeah. I mean, I guess something that maybe I might want to see is, like, them trying to release, like, Pokemon for, like, even more, like, some of the classes and whatnot, because, like, we have 6 attackers, and then where you have some of the other ones where they only have, like, 3 or 4 in their class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, especially since, like, the boy Greninja here, it's like, yeah, they have him as an attacker, but he also is kind of a pseudo-speedster role, too.
Yeah, though, speaking of which, we still don't know what roles Sylveon and Mamoswine have, do we?
Yeah. Mamoswine I can see either being defense or all-rounder.
Sylveon's probably most definitely going to be a cleric-type character.
Yeah, so support. Like, probably with things like Wish and whatnot.
Yeah. See, again, I'd say, like, even, like, when it comes to, like, the support classes and such, it's, like, because I know there's different ways to support, but, like, I'm trying to think, right now, isn't Eldegoss, like, the one dedicated healer?
Blissey.
Yeah, there's also Blissey.
Okay.
Yeah. And Blissey is pretty good.
Yeah, because I would say that's like, you know, I would certainly not be opposed to having, you know, multiple healers, but you got to find a way to differentiate them.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be some things you can do, like with giving them certain kinds of moves or something. I mean, it's like take Overwatch, for example. Back when that used to be like a big fucking deal before it became a joke, you know.
Yeah, thanks, Blizzard.
You know, when it came to the various healers, you know. Yes, you had multiple healers, but they all offered something very different. Like Mercy was the one person that could actually resurrect players. Lucio could actually give like speed buffs and all that. Like he could offer buffs and such while and constantly move. I believe her name was Anna. She was the sniper, so she could actually it was very much like a very tough role to play because you have to play the role of a sniper, but you're more focused on keeping the team alive. So I mean, it's like you had different play styles to really separate the different healers. And I think Pokemon Unite could benefit from something like that if they want to bring more healers in.
Yeah. Yeah, I could also,
there we go.
Ryan. So,
Hi, sorry for my sudden absence there.
you're good.
No, you're good.
We were basically
No,
talking
really
about, we were basically talking like, if they were to add more Pokemon into Unite, who do you want to see?
Oh. Well, oh man, yeah, that's a good one. You know, a part of me actually kind of wants to see a Pokemon like a Beware get into the game.
Yes!
I don't know why, but I feel, but it's like, okay, obviously we have Snorlax, but I kind of feel like, you know, if we were to have like another like a variation of like an aggressive battle tank put in Pokemon Unite, I don't know. Part of me feels like, okay, that would actually be pretty sick.
I wanna bear hug Dreadnought.
Actually, wait. Could you imagine another grappler like Machamp?
Oh no! Yeah, it is Beware.
Okay, guys, I think you're missing the most obvious example of a grappler. Grapploct. Or Octillery.
Okay, but Beaver's cooler.
Yeah. I don't know about cooler, but it's definitely more... okay, I wouldn't say huggable, because...
You die.
Yeah, it can actually snap your back. Or so Rotom tells us.
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
I do think here and there sometimes, like, how hilarious would it be if they made a playable Pokemon, one of the Pokemon that you can actually farm off of, and people just get really confused?
Actually, here's a weird one. Hatterene in Unite is either support or defender. Yes, Hatterene!
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm honestly surprised Hatterene hasn't shown up given its popularity.
I love Hatterene.
Zygarde and Melmetal and Mewtwo because favoritism. Yeah, why isn't Mewtwo in the game yet?
Maybe they want to settle in first? I don't know. Again, I don't follow.
You want to talk? You want to?
Mewtwo is a pretty big one. I feel like that's one they probably want to save.
Probably.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be one of the last Pokemon they do. Like, you know, save the best for last kind of deal.
I could see that.
Not the last, but I would say like definitely like save like a big event.
Yeah.
Like an anniversary or something.
Yeah. I can see that. Okay. I know. I already mentioned before, like, you know, oh, we should probably get like other roles like filled out first because you already have a lot of attackers. But like, where Hawlucha at?
Hawlucha's a good Pokemon.
Yeah. Where is our avian luchador?
Hey, Andrew, please don't spam.
Yeah.
He wants to know who would win in a fight, Itachi or Sesshomaru.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that's where I'm just like, I gave up on Inuyasha a long time ago because it was going nowhere. And don't get me started on Naruto.
Yeah.
If we're
And
talking
that's coming-
mythical-
That's coming from somebody who used to be a big Narutard when
Yeah.
that was like in its heyday. I used to love Naruto, and now I can't fucking stand it.
Hey, Danny, I just grew a couple gray hairs after you said that.
That was an old. That was
I
an
was never
old.
a fan of Naruto, but I knew that term full well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're talking mythical, maybe Marshadow. Yeah, that would be a good one. Marshadow.
Marshadow would be interesting.
Actually, I know, Brian, you, Brandon, and I were talking about this before on one of his streams. Like another type of Pokemon that I would love to see is a stance changer, like Meloetta or
Ditto.
Or Aegislash.
Yeah, or Aegislash. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Pokemon that can fill multiple roles at once.
Definitely
Well, I
not
was gonna-
Deoxys, because that's too many.
But I was gonna say, what about Ditto?
I don't know how you'd make Ditto
Oh,
work. 'Cause
how would you do Ditto?
yeah, because
Ditto,
like
I don't know,
Ditto,
but,
I think,
like-
Ditto, I think
That's a good opportunity to get
to let you play as two of the same Pokemon on one team.
I mean, no, like, if we're thinking about this seriously, it could be a good thought exercise, I guess.
it could be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
But
I mean,
again,
yeah,
it's
like,
like, what role does it fit in?
Yeah, that's like
All
I
trades, Master of None?
yeah, like I mean, I know like I know we were talking about. I think like BJ brought up like the idea of like a spy, like a role of like a spy or something. That's like Ditto. I think could make for an interesting choice if you wanted to play that role. Again, don't know how you pull it off, but it's like if that's the kind of role you want to play or something, it's like yeah, why not have a Ditto?
We did mention Zoroark before. Maybe with Zoroark, they could introduce a sort of spy class, and then with Ditto, it could be another one.
I just want to imagine just Ditto just pulling out a knife and backstabbing someone.
Oh God! What if they put in a Amoonguss and it's like made to be like a Pokemon that blends in the background, like maybe in a jungle. And I'm just spitballing ideas here. And the minute someone tries to sneak, that's when Amoonguss shows up and then caps their ass.
Yeah. I know, because like there already is kind of like a hiding mechanic in Unite, and like that's something any Pokemon can do.
Yeah, but what if Amoonguss was a Pokemon that could take the most advantage out of it, or something? I don't know. Again,
Right.
I don't know much about the game.
Yeah, because
Yeah, like what if like it could go into like tall grass and hiding? Because the whole thing about the hiding mechanic, Jordan, was like, yeah, you can go into tall grass, but you have to stay still. If you move, you become visible. What if you had a Pokemon that's like, oh, when he's hiding, but he can move and still be hidden?
okay, I can
Yeah.
see that.
Thus making them more unpredictable.
Yeah, and I will say though, I do think that is a cute detail though, that you can just hide in the grass and pop up like a random Pokemon encounter. It's like that's a cute detail. I like that.
Well, off to visit your mother slides into the daycare.
Off to visit your mother.
Damn it, Ditto!
Hey, Spy, you, what the fuck was that?
The spy snorting.
Yeah.
Jordan Carroll wants to know who would win in a fight, Ditto or Mimikyu?
Mimikyu.
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 Because Ditto doesn't get the imposter ability.
Oh,
I'm just
what
here
if
for the
Mimikyu
food.
was one of
Gets
those-
yeah, it doesn't get the disguise ability. That's why.
Actually, what if Mimikyu was part of that?
That is
Possible.
actually another one I would love to see is Mimikyu.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what if it, poses as a starter Pokemon? Like, on a team there would be, obviously there would be some players who would pretend to be a starter Pokemon. Then again, the downside would be, okay, so maybe that's one way people can identify a Mimikyu player. It's like, we have a Charmander, and they have a Charmander, but it looks off. Okay, so that's the Mimikyu.
Yeah.
Ditto Spy Crab. I need that in life.
I was gonna make the joke like, yeah, Ditto Spy Crab.
What's a Spy Crab?
It's a TF2 thing where when a spy holds up their disguise, takes out their disguise kit, then looks up and starts moving, it looks like they're walking like a crab.
Well, they have to be crouching too.
Yeah, you also have to be crouching, but like, yeah, you look like a
Alright.
crab when you walk.
Okay, that's what I get for not playing Team vs. 2, I guess.
And the spy crab is considered an endangered species.
Aw, poor Spy Crab.
Yeah, so if you kill it, you go to jail.
Yeah, like, Professor Pisces.
Yeah.
Good shading, by the way.
Thank you. Actually, imagine if they added Gallade in the game.
Gallade, yeah.
That actually
Definite attacker.
That actually goes into a point that I'm just super curious about. How are they going to handle Pokemon who have the same pre-evolutions? So, because like we already have Gardevoir, like are they willing to add Gallade? And on that note, if they're adding Sylveon, are they willing to add more evolutions?
Yeah. Well, man, I guess it wouldn't be like too. I think the only real difference between them all is just the final evolution that you would get to. Like they'd have different moves that you utilize. Actually,
Good Andrew, watch
Yeah.
yourself.
yeah, it's like you just have. Yeah, you would just like you'd start out with similarly as everything else. It's just that once you reach the final evolution, that's when things change.
Valve also caught wind of Spy Crab and made an official plushie that comes with an endgame. You know what? I need to see Spy Crab for myself.
Yeah, speaking of crabs, what if they added Crabominable?
Crabominable. These claws aren't just for attracting mates, you know.
Bring it on, old man! Bring it on!
Oh, God damn it.
Smart and bring it off.
Oh god. You might as well stop now before you end up quoting the entire episode.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
And
Can I at least get one reference out of the way?
yeah, what?
Whoever is the owner of the white sedan, you left your lights on.
Actually, Ryan, what if they added Caesar into the game?
Oh, well, by proxy, they'd also have to add in Scyther. Or
Yeah.
do they? Caesar or Scyther?
I mean,
Well, it would just be both. Like you just start off with Scyther, and then it also with Caesar.
They could.
yeah,
go that way.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that idea. I do like Caesar, but Scyther is also really good as well. so
Actually-
if they implemented that, then
I think that would
I'd be all for it.
You know what? Because of that, I wonder, like, what would happen if how exactly they would interpret, like, say, a held item where you give them where maybe you give them an Everstone or Eviolite, and it just stops them from evolving, but, like, you get better stats as a result.
Ooh,
That'd be interesting.
Spike Headline.
it would actually.
I do feel like for some Pokemon though that there would be some attacks that would like need to be like they would have to have completely different attacks if they because there are just certain Pokemon that just cannot use like Greninja like Froakie can't use Water Shuriken.
Yeah. And
There would have to be some attacks that would have to get changed.
Yep. Also, yeah. Hello, Jonah. Hello, Gilligan. You know what? I think at this point, I am actually going to deviate a little bit from the arting, and I'm going to do something. And I'm actually going to do something. Showcase a little something different, maybe a bit of a follow-up as to what I did in a previous stream where I had some of these guys in. So, how about we do ourselves a tier list involving the best and worst Pokemon League champions?
Yeah, I
Because-
was wondering when you were gonna do that.
Yeah, because we were talking about gym leaders last time. Now we talk about the champions.
That's right.
It's on the top,
Oh yeah, I remember
no doubt
that.
about it.
Yeah. So basically, yep. It says typical tier lists are S rank. They'd be the best, like no question about it. They are just amazing. They're awesome, incredible in all the regards. A, they're really good. Not enough to get the S, but like they're still good enough for me to like consider really great champions. B is somewhere in the middle where it's like they're okay champions. Like I don't mind them at all, but like obviously, they're just kind of average. C is below average, where it's like, yeah, they're just kind of there. D is just trash.
Oh, by the way, Ryan, Crystal sympathizes with you about the PS5 ordeal.
Oh yeah, yeah, because I noticed. I guess while I was away, so no, of course. Yeah, I guess they had some PlayStation 5 listings go up on Amazon, and apparently, if like some time ago, on the Sony Direct.
But
So I was like, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say actually, I'm gonna see if I can share screen this with you guys, so you don't have to look at stream delay.
Does Mustard count as a champion?
According to this tier list, I guess he does. Well, he was a previous previous champion.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think I played much of the Isle of Armor. Like, I just started it and then finished it.
Yeah, and like
But I didn't do any of the
yeah, and I made
stuff.
yeah, and I also made sure to order them like by generation.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so start off with Blue. A tier. Blue is a really good champion, and not just simply because the battle is great, but the build up to it in general, just him as your rival, is such great build up. Like, this guy shit talks you throughout the whole game just to get to the final point in the league where you get to finally stuff it in his smug face. And just the build up to it between you two, like, just as rivals, just feels really, really satisfying in the end to just finally take the dude down.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
agree to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and on top of that, I actually kind of want to look up. I kind of want to look up Blue's team.
S tier, Cynthia, D, everyone else. That would be mine.
This might help.
Blue in Gen 1 specifically, or
Obviously, he has whatever starter is strong against yours.
Okay,
I know
but-
he normally goes for like Pidgeot. He goes for
Yeah, he has Alakazam, Rhydon, Executor, Gyarados. Like, this is not that bad of a team.
yeah,
by
it's
Gen
very
2
wide and
By
diverse.
Gen 2, he gets a Tyranitar.
Yeah, you know what? Man has taste.
Actually, you know
And
what?
yeah.
What does he have in Gen 3 in Fire Red and Leaf Green?
Fire and Leaf Green. Let me
'Cause
check.
I think it's mostly the same.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's mostly the same.
Pokemon Masters did recently introduce both Red and Blue as not in their back in their classic attires, and they gave Blue an Aerodactyl.
Yeah, and yeah, because Black 2 and White 2, yeah, he has an Aerodactyl.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, in general, yeah, he does have a very solid team. Like, he has a team, like, specifically, it's like, oh, I'm gonna wipe Red's stupid face off.
You know, I actually really love him as a gym leader too, because he's a type of gym that not many gyms since have tried. Multi-type.
Yeah.
I think the only other one that does something like that is the electric gym leader in Gen 4.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Volkner.
Wagner. Yes, thank you.
So, yeah.
Unless you count the first gym in Unova with the trio.
Yeah. But, so yeah, definitely, Blue, Gary, if that's what you want to call him, definitely A tier. Now, for Lance. Lance is honestly kind of hard for me to place, because, like, I don't really think much about him, honestly. Like, he's a mono dragon trainer, which I guess is cool, but, like, I don't know. In terms of, like, a character, Lance is kind of bland to me.
He did at least get some involvement in Gen 2, but it was pretty minimal, and that was about it.
Yeah, like, he
He
hyper
did help you try to take down Team Rocket.
He hyper beamed the dude straight with his fucking Dragonite.
And somehow didn't kill them.
Let's also be real here. He was pretty cool in Pokemon Generations
Yeah,
when his Dragonite was actually kind of just tearing people apart.
yeah, but it's like, I don't know. There's just not too much about him that really
Also,
sticks
this is
out.
a rather extreme song that you picked for this. Not that I'm complaining.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like
I'm gonna make a lot of enemies today. The song.
yeah, I just don't know. It's like, because Lance isn't bad. Like, I don't dislike the guy. I just don't think a lot about him. And not to mention, like, his starting team is just kind of bland. Like, the only stick out things about it is that he has 3 Dragonites.
Joy.
Yeah.
And the thing about them is that it's either a Blizzard Dragonite, a Thunder Dragonite, I hate that one, or I think Fire Blast Dragonite?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I get it, because, Dragonite was the only dragon type back in Gen 1. So it's like,
Yeah, which was kind of lame.
yeah,
but-
so like, I could get why that was a bit hard to, like, kind of construct a dragon team around it when there wasn't, like, any dragon types, and so he had to go more so for theming. Like, Pokemon
Also,
that looked like
Pokemon
dragons.
early.
But,
Even in Masters, Lance confirms that you don't need You don't need to be dragon type to be considered a dragon in the Pokemon
Yeah.
world.
And then, he kind of fixed his team up a bit in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and by that, he looked at Cynthia's Garchomp and said, hey, can I copy your homework?
And then Cynthia just glares at him.
You know what?
It's like, if you do, film it. I want to see you fail.
You know what? I think I'm gonna put Lance in C, because it's like...
Yeah, that's where I would have put
Yeah,
him.
because, again, I don't think too much about him. Like, I don't hate him, but, like, he's not outstanding to me.
Yeah, I remember him more for the challenge than the character himself, which he has none.
Red definitely was just as much of a challenge as Blue was when you faced him in Gen 2.
Yeah, if not more so.
Yeah, but, unfortunately, because of his protagonist status, he's also kind of a blank slate.
At least supposed to be.
Yeah. Because,
Yeah, and canonically, he doesn't talk.
Yeah, because he is supposed to be... Well, actually, no, Pokemon Masters made him talk.
Yeah. Maybe he had a Bumblebee situation. You never know.
Yeah, but yeah. It's
Maybe Giovanni took his voice box.
Yeah, but it's like... Yeah, honestly, the only thing with Red is just more so that... Yeah, he is a good challenge, but, like, not much character. And that is, unfortunately, kind of a downside with him being a protagonist character.
Hey guys, should we add more dragons to Gen 2? No, add
Well,
20 more grass types.
unless you count Pokemon Origins, who's great in that.
Yeah, you know what? That is a good point. Origins did help flesh out
Origins
his
Red is
character.
my favorite red.
Yeah. I think with that, I will probably put him in A with Blue, because they both presented really good challenges to the player once you encounter them, and Origins did really help to give Red some character.
Although, now with that in mind, God, what if all the joy in his life got sucked out the minute he became champion? Like,
So he's Saitama.
no, it's more like, hey, I'm at the top now, but now what?
Yeah, again, he's Saitama. It's like, I'm now the best.
Yeah.
Now what?
He's like,
Well, he doesn't kill people in one punch, though. Unless if he uses Pikachu, then yeah.
And I will say, to this day, I still find what was it? At the end of Gen 2, where you have to face off against him in one last battle.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's like a pretty badass moment right there.
It was.
You go to the very tip top of the mountain, and then it's like, oh, lo and behold, Red is just standing there.
Yeah, and apparently
waiting for you.
the canonical ending of that fight is that Red wins.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Ethan does not beat Red canonically.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I guess that explains why he didn't show up in his tier list.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, I think that's also because if you do that, if you do beat Red in the game just sort of ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Steven. I like his design. Like, I do think Steven has a really cool design, and I do like his team overall. Like, I like his Metagross, because that's always a pretty good ace. Metagross is a really good ace, but other than that, I don't know. Steven's also just kind of meh.
Oh, Mounty, this isn't a rival tier list. This is a gym leader. Sorry. Champion tier list.
Champion.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to say that, but the word lost me.
Yeah, but it's like, Steven is just doesn't really have much of a character himself either. I mean,
Yeah, he's just kind of handsome, and that's it.
yeah, I mean, like at least to give him some credit in the XY anime, he did help with the Lysander fight, so that is something.
He's also got a shiny Metagross.
Yeah, he does have a shiny Metagross. That is another thing. but-
Shiny Mega Metagross, by the way.
Yeah, but like that doesn't necessarily, like, he may be able to flex in style, but like, yeah, I don't know. I guess in character, kind of the same way as Lance. It's like, I want to say I like Steven a bit more than Lance, mainly just again, guy is stylish as hell.
Yeah.
But like, that's kind of all that there is to it. And then Wallace, who,
Yeah.
like, I actually do need to get reminded every now and then that he was a champion.
Yeah, Gen 3, honestly, I like it personally, but it does have some pretty forgettable characters.
Yeah, it's like Wallace.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Wallace. Again, you look cool, but like, that's really all I remember about you.
Yeah, because honestly, Jordan, I'm in the same boat as you. Because when I was a kid, of course I played Pokemon like the original when it came out. I actually initially skipped Gen 2, but Gen 3 was what brought me back. So yeah, Gen 3 I have a very soft spot for. Like I still love Pokemon Emerald. But yeah, even I have to admit, well, it's so goddamn forgettable. It's like I cared more about what was going on with Team Aqua and Team Magma than what was going on at everybody else.
Yeah. All right. So let's get this one out of the way already. S tier, straight up.
Yes,
Like,
Yeah.
if you say Cynthia is anywhere below S tier, you're objectively wrong.
BJ.
She is.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wait.
Whoa.
Wow. Jumping to conclusions, Aria. I like
I'm not even familiar with Cynthia, unfortunately, and I'm just like, whoa, where the heck did that come
Okay,
from?
for the record, I'm not being serious, guys.
You were jumping a little too quickly there, man.
Okay, but like, yeah, Cynthia is often regarded as the best champion for a freaking reason. Look at this goddamn team. This team is
Wait.
stacked.
And then you go to
Wait, hold on. Let me have a look.
Then you go to Unova, walk into one house, and suddenly you have a heart attack.
Yeah, this team is straight up stacked. Like, Spiritomb.
Wow.
Like, yeah, Spiritom's great, Rosary's great, Gastrodon's great, Lucario's great, Melodic's great, her Garchomp. Actually, fun fact, people actually looked in, like, the data mines, like, for Cynthia's battle. Her Garchomp has perfect IVs.
Yeah, so no wonder it's
Should I be concerned?
That
You
means
should
it
be
can get
terrified.
that means it can get the best stats at possible.
Yeah, you should be terrified.
it's like, yeah, that's why I ask. As someone who's going to be jumping into this game for the first time blind whenever the remakes come out later this fall, that's why I ask, should I be concerned?
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, like I should tell you right now, ice types will surprisingly do fuck all against the Garchomp.
it's like well, because like the other
Fairies
thing
might
too,
help a bit, but
the other thing too is that the other thing about it as well is that a lot of this team is just really good at covering each other. Because, like, yeah, you could say, like, she could send out Garchomp, and then you'll maybe try to check her with an ice type. It's like, okay, so maybe I won't want to do that. I could just switch to Lucario, whose both stabs are super effective against ice.
oh, Bury the Light's playing.
Yeah, I know. But,
Well, I guess moving away from the gameplay side, story-wise, she was probably the first champion that was, for the most part, pretty involved.
yeah, like, she got very
she
involved
also
with...
has a definable personality too.
She was very involved with the Team Galactic stuff.
Yeah, and like according to
really?
generations, like there are even circumstances where she's the one that handles Cyrus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As the
like
champion, as the strongest trainer in the region, probably should.
Yeah.
yeah, like honestly, Cynthia did her job as the champion. She did her job as the champion. That's the biggest thing too.
Yeah, and you know, and she's also one of the champions that does have a consistent presence throughout, like, a lot of the rest of the games. Like, yeah, she shows up in Gen 5, she also shows up in Gen 7.
Probably doesn't hurt the fact that the internet thinks she's hot.
Hey, there is that too. She does have a...
I think she's hot too,
She-
but
she has a cool design.
not just because of her attractiveness, but because she's just awesome.
Yeah, and also, I do like the little quirk that she has in the anime where she has a hard time deciding what treats she wants. That's
Yeah,
a mood.
Oh my god.
She would be frustrating to go on dinner dates with, but you know
Actually-
what? That just makes her cuter.
Brian, it's funny you bring that up because pretty soon Ash probably will finally get to face her in the end.
Yes, I saw that!
He's gonna lose.
I don't know. I don't know actually about that one. Ash has been doing pretty good.
Yeah,
and his
Ash-
team is pretty fast.
Yeah, Ash does have
Oh, I
a
wouldn't
pretty
know.
decent team, but, like, again, this is Cynthia we're talking about. Like, she's been undefeated the whole anime.
Because currently in the anime, he actually has already beaten a champion. Because in the anime, Ash's story, because there's two storylines, one for Go and one for Ash. Ash's storyline is a world tournament where literally all of the best trainers in the world are in this tournament, and the current number one is Leon. And Ash currently is in in I think, where is he right now? He's definitely in the top 1,000 in the world right now. And the trainer that he beat to get to top 1,000 was Iris, who in the anime currently is the Unovan champion. So Ash is doing pretty well for himself.
Okay, but I'm sorry if this is really blunt, but I don't care.
Yeah. Also, who's in the stream call? So
Nice
right
to know,
now,
I guess.
right now it is the Kooky
Roll
Celtic,
call.
aka Jordan, Rashitsu Rises, aka Danny, Smoking Some Toad, aka Ryan, and Brawl Fan 1,
Yo.
aka BJ. Alright,
Yes,
so,
hello, I be smoking some toad. How you all
Smoke
doing?
Toad every day.
so, going off of the much more, kind of a downgrade here, we have Alder.
Trash.
Yeah.
Who?
D for
Like,
sucking.
I'm not even joking. Like, hold on. Like, that's someone I don't recognize. I'm being
The Gen
serious.
5
Yes.
champion.
He was the first Unova champion, and you didn't even get to fight him in the main story. Like, he was involved in a way, but he ended up getting curb stomped by Anne pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
wow.
kind of went out like a, you know.
Yeah, and on top of that, even Cynthia roasts him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he tried to flirt
Yeah,
with Cynthia,
tried
and
asking-
she's
tried
like,
asking Cynthia
nah.
out, and Cynthia was like, no.
Yeah. Also, apparently his Volcarona died.
Yeah, like his first Volcarona died, and well, okay. In story reason, he did travel the world with the same goals as Karen does. You know, one of your friends / rivals in Gen 5. But then his Volcarona died because of it, so it made him rethink his entire life.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is a sweet sentiment. He just sucks as a champion.
Yeah. And also, what doesn't help is that we have a vastly superior champion here, Iris.
Yeah, who just has a lot more development.
Yeah, Iris has. In fact, you know, here. No, you need to be an A. Because
Yeah, like, okay, specifically
not
we're
even-
talking about game
not even
Iris,
really
not
just
anime
counting-
Iris.
Not even really just counting the anime, like, because like even in the game she's pretty good.
Yeah, because Iris had such a really good climb up from from where she originally was. Because like she was originally just like any other kind of trainer, but then after wanting to like be a master of dragons, but then she started climbing up and eventually did become champion herself. And it's like, damn, now that's a Cinderella story.
Yeah. Good on you, Iris.
Yeah, so yeah, Iris
Like,
pushed
that
hard
kid's
and
got a future.
she got rewarded for it. Now, Diantha. I'm
I
about.
think I know where she's
I'm
going.
so Diantha. I feel like I am about to cause some wars with this decision, but I don't care. She's
Yeah,
my
it's your
favorite
fu-
champion.
It's your fucking tier
Yeah.
list.
Diantha?
You put whoever you want.
Diantha, I will say straight up, is my favorite champion. I love Diantha a lot. Like, now, of course, the downsides on her are like, yes, she is by far one of the easiest one of the easiest champions in the entire series. But you know, that's also because X and Y were also one of the easiest Pokemon games in the series.
Thanks, Megas.
Yeah, well, not even just Megas, but just like the EXP share was broken. Trainer AI was really low leveled even in late game, so like it was easy for you to just sweep everything. Because any Pokemon that you would like catch even later on could easily catch up with the experience share. So like, yeah, it was just easy to just snap the game in half. But like,
I will say with Diantha though, again separated from the gameplay aspect, because in the game itself she didn't really have much of a presence. A lot of what makes her so good is from the X and Y anime, which she had a pretty good crutch there, considering that the X and Y anime is where the anime started getting really good.
yeah, it especially like holy crap, like she has such a connection with her Gardevoir. They just have to read each other's minds and they know how to fight.
Like, that's the sort of bond I wish I had with my Pokemon.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, even then, it's like, I still liked her in the games where it's like, in a way, she was kind of a bit of a mini cheerleader for you. Like, she was anticipating you challenging her at the league, and it's like, okay, Diantha, you want to fight? Just hold on, I'll just get my badges, I'll get up there, I'll give you the challenge you want.
Yeah, like, honestly,
I will also
champion
say,
being your biggest fan is one of the best feelings. Like, translating it to real life, especially if you're the same age as the player character, you know, uplifting kids is a great thing.
I actually will say, there is one line that Diantha did have in X and Y that I don't know why it stuck with me for some reason, and that's interesting considering that X and Y probably was one of the more forgettable games in terms of plot. But I remember she was having this conversation with Lathander at the beginning of the game, and you know he was going on about this spiel about how you know, oh, you're an actress, you're supposed to be beautiful forever, and her retort to that was, but I can't wait to get older so I can fill new roles as I age.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. And I was just
Yeah,
thinking,
she
like,
looks to the future.
I'm just thinking, like, that's... I don't know why. That kind of just stuck with me.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially for an actress, that's a rare attitude to have.
Yeah, like Diantha's a person who's not afraid of like what comes ahead. She prepares for it, and that's honestly an admirable quality of her.
It's extremely admirable because, again, if you know anything about the acting world, especially for women, unfortunately, they get thrown on the roulette wheel as soon as they age.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they're not attractive anymore on the conventional sense, they're, like, sent on the revolving door over to obscurity.
Yeah, and I also want to say, too, because, yeah, I'm bringing up her team here.
I'm not
like,
saying it's fair, but it's true.
Yeah, and I am bringing up her team here, too, because it's, like, not gonna lie, her team's not bad. Like, she doesn't have a bad team composition here. Like, for one thing, Hawlucha, can't go wrong with him. She's got a goddamn dinosaur. Two of them.
Well, actually, her Hawlucha's a girl, but that's besides the point.
Okay. Yeah, but like, yeah, you can't go wrong with Hawlucha. Tyrantrum is a really good physical tank. And Aurora's is a decent special tank. Gorgeist is a bit weird, but like there are strategies with like if you have an oversized one, although hers is average size. But like again, Gorgeist can be pretty tricky. It can be a pretty tricky Pokemon.
Yeah, size is
Goodra,
their thing.
yeah, Goodra also good, and then of course Mega Gardevoir, who is also really good. So yeah, her team composition is solid. It's just yeah, X, Y were just in general like stupidly easy because how the AI was programmed.
I'm totally feeling this riff, by the way.
Yeah. But but you know, it's like yeah, I do not regret my decision putting Diantha in S tier. In fact, you know what? I'm putting her above Cynthia because I can.
Nah, it's okay.
So I hear,
Again, it's your tier list.
I hear knocks at my
Please.
door. What is this slander?
Slander is spoken.
All right.
Spoke, it's slander.
So
FBI,
boom.
open up!
So yeah, boom. You sit there. Yeah, Trace is trash.
Sorry, kid.
Yeah, actually, I want to share you guys a funny story because I was telling BJ about like some of the guys I was putting on here before I did this tier list. I talked about Trace literally for like 2 minutes. BJ's like, "Wait, who?"
Like it took me a
Minutes
second to
straight.
remember that like yeah. It took me a second.
like if X and Y were just baby Pokemon games, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were fetus games.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
it was so fun, but like
That's a name.
I still don't understand the choice of just of replacing the pro tags and the rival with just whole new characters. I never understood that one.
Yeah, like I don't like Trace mainly because like it's not that I don't like kind protagonists, like nice guy rivals, because you know I like Hop. Hop is a really good character, but Trace is just nothing. Like he's just
Yeah.
a nice kid, and that's all there is.
I think the biggest problem is that they tried putting the nice character trope into Blue's role, and that's where it kind of falls apart. Because
Yeah.
Blue's role was designed with the asshole rival in mind.
Yeah, because like you wanted to take the guy down because you know talk shit, get hit, but like Trace on the other hand, it's like no, like it's just not as effective, especially if there's like nothing else more to his character. Because like I'll say the reason I like Hop because Hop is a really good like nice guy protagonist, but the reason Hop is just so well done is because you actually got to see the guy's frustration as he grew as a rival. Like you keep beating him, and he's like, okay, why can't I seem to beat this person? Maybe there's just something wrong. And the breaking point is when he loses to Bidet, where he actually starts questioning things. And it gets to the point he takes his Dumble off his team. Because he thinks that's going to make him stronger. But then he loses, and he just gets to even more of a depressive spiral where it's like, what am I doing wrong? Like, there's layers to Hop. There's nothing with Trace.
He gets scared because he sees a Clefairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to...
Whatever it was that Bill turned into in Let's Go. One of the two.
Actually, going back to Hop for a second, remember when Dion went absolutely off with the kid?
Yes.
Like, when... Yeah, he, like... Because, to anyone who doesn't know Dion, he's not only playing Ricket for Curse of Strahd, but he's also one of our Aussie friends. He tore Hop to shreds, not because he doesn't like him per se, I don't think, but mostly because as someone who's British, he should take insults a lot less hard than he does, because, you know, they have a different sense of humor than we do. So
yeah, well, you know, it's okay to be wrong, Dion. I understand.
yeah, which is why I watch him carefully whenever he does anything in D&D, like, because the dude's been playing D&D for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's like the most experienced out of all of us.
He's by far the most experienced. That's why I have to watch him.
Kukui, bam, has to be A tier. Kukui-
Really, you're not putting him up on S tier?
Well, for one thing, it's hard to even count Kukui as a champion.
Yeah, that is one thing.
Again, Jordan, I'd like to make a correction. This is a champion tier, not a
Not rivals.
rival. No, it's very confusing. I know.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like, yeah, it's really hard to really specify if Kukui, like, really is a champion, because, like, yeah, he just makes the Pokemon League, and he's like, so your final challenge is me, by the way. It's like, yeah, he just sets up the tournament, and then it's like, yeah, I'm the champion of it, by the way.
Yeah, determine the champion. He would have been the champion if you lost to him.
Yeah.
But he never did. He never won. So
Yeah, but, like,
Hmm.
every other category, he is perfect. I love Kukui.
Because he's
Kukui's a pro.
like between the game and the anime. Oh my god, he is phenomenal in the anime.
Yeah, he's Ash's dad in the anime.
Ash's dad, he never had.
Yeah, and also, I love the episode where he does propose to Burnett.
That boy was smooth.
Yeah, like, he
friggin-
Which is weird
okay,
because in the
let me
games
lay
they
this-
were already married.
Let me read this one out. Friggin'. Because after, like, you know, the two of them spend time. Because, like, it's interesting. Because, like, in the game, they were already married, like, before you even meet Kukui. In the anime, they weren't. They actually meet during the event of the story of the anime. And after the event of them spending time together, and, like, doing research together and such, eventually the two of them would take a walk on a beach. And Burnett was, like, this close to proposing to him first. But then Kukui turns around with a Pokeball, and it opens it up with a ring inside of it without saying a word.
and the guy, yeah, Kukui's like, I choose you. It's like, yes. It's every bit of cheesy as I'd expect him to do it. I love it. But, like, the other thing I also love Kukui for too is just that, yeah, the guy's a professor in Pokemon moves. Like, he likes researching Pokemon moves, and the way that he does it is just super hardcore, because it's like, okay, I'm sure he probably puts them in a gym and maybe has them test their moves on. No! He looks at the Pokemon using those moves and goes, come at me, bro!
My body
He
is
used
ready.
himself as a test subject. That's dedication.
The guy's got the abs for it, too. Like, this dude's built.
Yeah, he is super involved. Like if something's going on, like he steps in. Like he worries about, you know, the people around him. Like he doesn't just leave it to other people like most of these champions do. He tries to be involved.
Yeah. Isn't he also a wrestler? Yes, he is in fact a wrestler.
And what's actually hilarious? What's actually
crap. What was his name? What was
The
his
Masked
name?
Royal.
What
Yeah, the
what's
Masked
funny
Royal,
about that
yeah.
one between, like, because in the game, like, you know, they played it off as a joke, you know, like where everyone kind of knew who he was already, but he was trying to keep up the persona. In the
Except for
anime,
Ned, I think.
it actually was a secret identity for him. And, like, I remember, like, towards the end where the secret was revealed on accident. And it was even funnier, too, because Burnett, his own wife, at that point, was a huge fan of Masked Royal. He had no clue it was her husband. So when she found out, she passed out of, like, can't believe I'm married to Masked Royal. Like, she, like, fangirled out, like, really
Kukui is the dad that we all want in our life.
I still think one of my favorite like Masked Royal moments too was when Burnett bought tickets to go see one of his matches, and she got them for Ash herself and Kukui. So literally, like he needed to like have one of his most trusted friends who already knew the secret try to fill his space, It's like, but there was like a moment where he had to run back there to kind of get things started first. So he's literally freaking. I just remember like literally he runs to the locker room, throws his Incineroar out, and Incineroar like just jumping around like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. He's just trying to frantically get dressed.
Alright. Next we have Hao, and he's probably the first I'm gonna put in B tier.
Yeah,
That's
finally.
fine, but yeah, I was honestly kind of disappointed that they made him the challenger. Kukui was just way better.
Yeah, like-
for that.
Okay, the best way I like to describe Hop is I think he's Hao but written better. Because like I don't hate Hao,
What do you
but
mean,
like
H Project version.
yeah, I don't hate Hao, but like I don't know. I feel like his development in like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came way too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we get to the end of the game and now he suddenly puts his game face on. It's like, bruh, you had like a whole game to have this moment of character development. Like I feel like you're kind of too late to get that. Yeah, and because it's like, Hao has a lot of interesting means that they could go about it. It's like, you know, 'cause, yeah, he was related to Hala, who was one of the Kahunas. You know, he wanted to like live up. He wanted to live up to that. He wanted to be a strong, competent trainer. And yeah, he was a very nice kid too. Like he was very chill. Like, but like, yeah, you don't really see too much of the kid like having his own internal struggle until like the end of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And the writing in that game was already kind of a mess after, you know, they kind of stripped Lily and Gladion of their character arc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, the best, example of Lily's story is in Base Sun and Moon. Everywhere else, it sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, again, that's why I say Hop is just Hao but better.
Well, there's
Yeah.
also a huge reason why in the anime as well, why, you know, Lily as well as a bunch of the trial captions are the main characters. Hao doesn't even show up until like the last like bunch of episodes.
Yeah. So yeah, even in the anime, he doesn't really get that much like character development.
He
Which
gets like
sucks.
pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing.
Yeah. It's like he's a nice kid. I can't hate him. Like I feel like if I put him in C tier, I just be bullying the kid. And I don't want to do that because he's a good kid. Just not much about him.
Also, Jordan, your comment about Lily not having much development and anything else outside of Base Sun and Moon. I hope you're not including the anime in that too, because Lily in the anime is phenomenal.
I wouldn't know because, again, I don't watch the anime and I don't plan to. That's just me.
Now, Leon. So, I am going to discuss to people who say Leon being the worst champion are objectively wrong, and you should feel bad for thinking that. Because Leon is honestly one of the best champions that we've gotten.
Yeah.
Like, like,
Because like,
I can agree. I love Leon. Like, not like I think it's just his character. I just absolutely love the dork.
yeah, like he's a lovable dork. Like he's a himbo.
but not even just that, he's involved. In fact, I would argue he is the most involved out of any champion in the entire series.
Yes,
I think you're right.
absolutely. Like, because yeah, on top of that, like, not only does he get involved with the whole Eternatus thing, but like he also is like constantly checking up on like your journey, being like, you know, yo, how are you doing? Can't wait to face you off at the champion. And it's like, yeah, like you hear all these stories about how, like, you know, oh, they try to hype Leon as like this undefeated champion, like he's so strong, like no one can beat him. Raihan gets frustrated every time he loses to him because like the two are like big rivals, but Raihan just keeps losing to Leon, and like it's so easy to have that kind of hype feel like a complete waste by endgame where it's like clapped. But Leon does not fall for that trap because his team is actually really damn good, and he's super good at strategizing too. Like, he doesn't just, because yeah, he adjusts himself accordingly, like, to your team when you face him. And like in terms of what he has for his team, like, yeah, we're looking at here, it's really good. He has Aegis Slash, where despite the nerf, it's still really good. Dragapult being one of the aces of VGC currently. Haxor is, again, decent Pokemon. Seismitoad also pretty good. Depending on the starter, like, I feel like if he ends up with Inteleon, that's probably the easiest he gets.
Well, I think Seismitoad changes it depending on his starter.
Oh, okay. Does it?
Yeah,
It
no.
all changes.
Mr. Rhyme.
Yeah, it's either
And-
Rhyperior or Mr. Rhyme. So yeah, again, really good Pokemon here, like especially like for coverage.
And then there's Charizard.
Actually, no, I do think his Charizard does pretty well.
Well, okay, I was just perpetuating the inside joke we
Yeah,
have.
because it's like I know I do make the joke where it's like, you know, I bet people probably just didn't think to just carry someone with Stealth Rock to throw them in here, but no, this boy comes packed with Solar Beam. He knows. He's prepared. It's like, oh, I see you throw that Tyranitar here. Just let me use Solar Beam.
Yeah, I think that was the reason why, like, when Ryan was playing Sword and Shield blind on SNG, and TP was just saying, "Bring T-Tar."
Yeah, because like, yeah, you set up Stealth Rocks, you set its health down, but it's also like, even in the cases where you do end up running into that, he G-maxes, and then he uses Max Overgrowth, because he knows how to deal with Rock and Ground types of Charizard. Like, he just throws that out there.
Is someone talking about Leon Killer XD?
Yes. And we're talking about
Oh
how,
my God.
and we're also talking about how Leon is in fact one of the best champions out there, and people who say he's a bad champion are objectively wrong, and they should feel bad.
There.
It's like, wow, really?
Yeah.
I'm actually rather surprised.
Yeah, and also, I will always laugh when it comes to like this one clip I saw at the battle tower where somebody tried bringing a Mewtwo into the battle tower to sweep everything, and Leon had a Libro Cinderace. Cinderace uses Sucker Punch. It became a Dark type. It's super effective. Mewtwo used Psy Strike.
And then nothing.
Yeah, like.
Because
Yeah, Leon may not know directions for shit, but when it comes to Pokemon battling, this guy's in a tier of his own. But yeah, now we have Mustard, and he's okay.
I'd say probably put him right in the middle.
Yeah,
I didn't even know he was a champion.
yeah, like Mustard's okay. Like I do enjoy his character. Like I do like the goofy old man thing, and then like he goes all Might when he wants to be like super serious. Like I always that trope.
Well, and it's like that was like a major reveal when you went to the Isle of Armor. This was the guy that trained Leon.
Yeah. And
But I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah. So it's like, you know, so he's definitely got some history and shit.
yeah, and the other thing too. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bump him to A tier for one reason specifically, because when you hit him with a critical hit, he finds that interesting. You will never find an actual Pokemon trainer who, when they get hit with a crit, they don't find that interesting. They call hacks. Mustard gets critical hits, and he's like, this'll make the fight interesting.
It's like, I think I may have just found a worthy foe.
Yeah, okay. I don't have much to say about him, honestly, because, like, I was kind of burnt out the minute I started Isle of Armor,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to finish it by obligation, so I kind of don't have much to say. Like, it's not that I didn't pay attention to the story, it's just I didn't care.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, I do like, honestly, I just like the whole goofy old man becomes like super badass trope. That's always super funny to me.
It really is.
Yeah,
Like,
but
if you know anything about Yoda, then you'll love this guy.
The real plot twist is that his favorite condiment to put on his burgers is mayonnaise.
Yeah, I agree. Mayo was good.
But yeah, this be how my tier list looking. S tier, these are the guys I think are the best. A, love the guys. B, I think they're okay. C, they're below average, but I don't totally hate them. D, are just trash.
D, new phone, who dis?
See, that was one criticism I heard about Sword and Shield. How when things are going down, either Leon is taking care of it or you're not involving in it, told to focus on the gym. So he's a responsible adult.
Yeah, that's what I find. Yeah, you know what? That's kind of the ironic thing. Like, people complained about not being involved in like a lot of the big stuff because Leon was taking care of it, but that's how things should be. Because logically, a lot of these other champions that just let the kid take care of it are kind of irresponsible. Even when Eternatus happened, like a big thing with Leon that I loved was that he didn't really want you and Hop getting involved. He tried taking care of it himself. The only reason that you and Hop did get involved with it was because Eternatus kicked his ass.
Yeah.
And he got knocked out. He wasn't able to do anything. And the same thing would have happened to you and Hop if you didn't get lucky and find artifacts that happened to bring in two big doggos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Leon, how dare you be a responsible adult? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I guess
Like,
someone
what
is
the
not having a
hell?
champion time.
Although another thing I do love too is like I love a lot of the memes where like Leon's just so horrible with directions. Like Raihan, help! I don't know where I am, but I see like two titans fighting each other. Look, Leon, if you didn't want to come over, you should have just said something. He sends him an image where Groudon and Kyogre are fighting in the background, and Raihan's like,
all the way in hope.
where the fuck are you?
And the funny thing is, I think that may have happened at one point. It's his own noodle incident.
God, Leon's great. If you say Leon's bad, you're wrong.
Yeah. And if you do feel that way, leave.
You're not welcome here.
Okay, for the record, because I know some people get confused, I'm a heavily sarcastic person, so if I say something that's a little outlandish, like what I just said to BJ about Cynthia, I didn't actually mean it, for the record. I was just joking.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that tier
If I
list.
was being
'cause,
serious, you would know.
yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
that be the tier list, and yeah, I'm sticking with those choices.
That's fine. It's your tier list.
Yeah, it's like,
And now
God,
back
I'm
to your
glad we
regularly
leave.
scheduled art program.
yeah, yep.
Wait, hold on. Actually, before we do, I just remember something as well.
Yeah.
Actually, regarding Leon, that I honestly probably should put him in double S tier.
Yeah.
The Charizard. The Charizard.
The Charizard!
What?
The Charizard.
The
Man.
Charizard!
I don't.
The
I don't get it.
Charizard?
Is this an anime thing?
Yeah, he has a car that's modeled after a Charizard, and it's called the Charizard.
Wait,
okay.
wait, hold up. Isn't
Yeah.
that something like from that new Pokemon anime that they just
Yes.
debuted?
Yes.
Ah, I still need to see those.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So you're saying Leon? So you're saying Leon pulled a Seto Kaiba with a blue eyes play?
I will show you. Give me 1 second. I will post it in chat. Hold on.
I have like no input. I'm sorry.
Hey Leon, the interior decorator called. They want to know what you want your walls looking for your new office. Make it orange and covered it in cartoon dragons.
Oh, I think at this point we can stop share screening in Discord because all we're seeing is just the YouTube screen.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, jeez. It's like, my God, where's the Pikachu car? The
The
slug
Pika
bug.
car. Yeah,
Look at
the
this.
Pikachu.
Look at this. That alone makes him double S tier.
And it's a Jeep?
Yeah!
That's a Jeep! Oh my God!
Also, oh no,
That's
Leon
being
has a map.
hideous.
Okay, listen. If
Like
they,
that's
if
gonna
this,
help him.
all right, look. I'm gonna be real here. If I don't see this car make some kind of a cameo in Cars 4, I'm gonna have so many questions.
Why Cars 4? Why not Detective Pikachu 2?
Yeah, Leon just crashes the
Oh, actually,
freaking
no.
thing.
I think there's already been a... No, there hasn't been a Cars 4. I had to think about
No,
it.
there has not.
Also, Andrew, to answer your question earlier, yeah, I do enjoy that battle.
But yeah, that car is something.
Yeah. The Charizard.
If it wasn't based off Charizard, I'd probably like it more.
That
Hey!
car is killer.
I still think the best part is literally because this is a part of the current anime intro, and every scene it shows them outside the car with Leon looking at this map, but every time he's like tilting his head like where are we?
Yeah, the turn's like, are you sure the map isn't upside down?
And no, he literally does that during the intro. In this scene currently in this picture, he's like turning it sideways and shit. Like he's trying to figure out where they are. And like literally, my first thought was, "This just in: local champion and 3 children gone missing."
You know, I would guarantee you that if Leon played Dungeons and Dragons, he'd probably be better with his topography. Not by much, but I think he'd be a slight better at it. But I guess that remains to be seen.
Yesterday, Hop wanted me to go grocery shopping with him and wanted me to meet him at the grocery store. Turns out he was at the other grocery store on the other side of town, and not the one that I was at. And if I listened to him properly, I had known that.
It's like, where did you end up? So apparently, behind me was a noodle dragon fighting a virus from space. What the fuck?
Oh, I was gonna say that he was in the haunted supermarket in Sun and Moon.
Leon, what store did you end up in? I'm at Soup.
What do you mean you're at Soup?
What do you mean you're at Soup? What do you mean you're at Soup?
I mean I'm at Soup.
I'm at Soup.
What store are you in?
I'm at the Soup.
Oh my
Why are you buying clothes at the Soup store?
Frick you! Actually, you know what?
I am so sorry.
I actually told Jordan of this story yesterday when I got to work, but I'm making a pact to if I'm to ever order out at Pizza Hut again, I'm never doing it over the phone.
Yeah, that's right. You were telling me about that.
Yeah. So I was thinking of to celebrate, me getting into Masters and having my day off today. I was gonna treat myself, to have their meaty marinara for when I go on break. The person I got over the phone was they had a super thick accent and barely understood English.
Ooh. Poor guy.
Yeah, they decided that was the kind of person they wanted to have on their call phone. But
Well, you know what it is, Brian. I guarantee you that person was one of their drivers.
Probably.
Because when I worked at Pizza Hut, a big thing about that answering calls. Normally, the people at the front are who work the front counter are the ones that have to answer the phone calls. But if they're busy, one of the drivers who's available has to do it.
But basically,
in my Pizza Hut, it was actually a different way. It was anything goes.
yeah, but basically, I got them on the phone. I told them, I wanted a full pan of meaty marinara with cheese sticks, and they said, okay, will that be all? Yep, all right. It's they said it'll be a 15-minute wait, and it's you know what, that's fine because I was gonna leave in 50 minutes anyway. I get to the place, and they tell me the total is $43, and the thing is, I get the meaty marinara every time I usually go out for Pizza Hut, so I know how much it's worth. So I'm just wait, hold on. How much am I paying for it? Is 43. It's for one full pan of meaty marinara. It's we're making you 4. I only asked for 1.
Oof.
So then
Wow.
That's been really embarrassing for that guy.
So yeah, they were they were rather confused ooze about that. So I told them so basically I got a person who had a really thick accent, and they knew immediately who I was talking about. Yeah. Luckily, the problem has been sorted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem did get sorted out, and on top of that, because they did feel kind of bad that I did get misunderstood with that, they gave me a second pan free.
Hey, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm willing to give that guy the benefit of the doubt because for one thing, he was kind of shoved to the phone, and another thing, English is one of the hardest languages to learn on planet Earth. If not the hardest.
English is terrible. It's actually bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Yeah, what happened over the phone was really stupid, but the guy was put on the spot. Could you blame him?
Yeah, it's you approach a grammar Nazi and you tell him there.
Oh, Jordan says, "Where are you, Leon? Leon, I'm in heaven fighting Jesus."
How the fuck did you get there?
There was a nice.
I died.
There was a nice bus that took Leon, that was the rocket from Hoenn.
we need to put like a GPS tracker on Leon.
No, inject him with a GPS. And then you make an app called Find My Leon.
Find my Leon.
And then you'll find him, and then you can tell him where to go, like in real time. Like you can see what he's seeing, and it's like, okay, Leon, you're going the right way. Turn left. No.
Oh,
no, up!
oh,
Thank
east? I thought you said west.
Wait, what kind of compass are you reading, lad?
This one, sir.
That's west, Leon. You're getting a pay cut again.
You're fired again.
Later, CHC Grunt. Take care.
Yeah, see ya, Gilligan.
Nothing. I do also have to ask, like, who here has seen the first episode of Pokemon Evolution?
I have.
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah, like, I feel like that whole episode, because yeah, normally when you think of Leon, like, you do think of like the himbo stuff, but I do love how this episode overall like really delved into like Leon's psyche, like how he felt about what happened with Eternatus.
Yeah, that was a really good angle to go off of.
Yeah.
Like, when you do a character study, especially when done right, it's especially interesting.
And yeah, it's like, because you don't, honestly, I feel like that's one thing I kind of wish that, you know, they do in the games more, where, like, we actually explore these characters more.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
they definitely focus... Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
because, like, honestly, one of my main issues with the League cards is that they are very show don't tell. Because it's like, you know, it's like, they list, like, all these interesting background things that some of these characters have gone through, and it's like, okay, cool, but, like, I actually would have liked to seen this.
Actually, correction, sorry to be a grammar Nazi, but what you're describing is tell, don't show.
Okay.
Because they're telling you all this cool stuff that you can find in an optional thing. What they should be doing is the opposite, show, don't tell.
Yeah, we should be able to, it's like, yeah, I just want to be able to see this stuff, but then it's like, they kind of just end up not doing that, and I'm like, come on, I would have liked to see this.
I mean, I think it's also because, well, Nintendo in general, not just Pokemon, is that they prioritize gameplay over story 100 times out of 10.
Well, then, don't make an RPG then, forehead.
Yeah, well, Xenoblade being from a second-party company is different because they're allowed free reign, but I don't know. I think Game Freak has been operating on that old modicum for a while that they've grown out of it seldomly, but they should do a lot more.
Yeah, because I was actually about to ask, like, isn't Game Freak technically a second party?
Yeah, like, that's the thing, like, I think because they've been around for a while, alongside Nintendo, they seem to still share their mentality with, you know, gameplay over story, which, you know, gameplay should definitely be fun. It should be the most important thing about your game. But if you're gonna have a story to it, put some effort into it. You did it before with, Black and White and Sun and Moon, but I think it's also because of their, format where they had to release Pokemon games in such a close time span. They're not allowed enough time to digest everything.
Oh my god, I love these Leon memes I'm seeing in the chat right now.
You know what? Actually, though, Jordan, I'm glad you brought that up because honestly, I feel like with what they're currently doing with all of their other stuff, like the anime, the merchandise, and all that, they have no excuse for that anymore.
Exactly, they don't.
Pokemon Journeys was literally set up to not be just a Gen 8 thing. It's Pokemon as a whole. Pokemon Journeys, the current anime show, is literally designed to last for multiple generations. So there is no reason for them to have to rush through generations anymore. They can go at their own pace.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they have time. Relax, you know? Like, focused on making the game good in all areas.
Yeah, it's like, Leon, my right or your right, other person? We have the same right, Leon. Okay,
I'm
goes
not
left.
saying- I'm not saying they should, go to AAA blockbuster status that Sony is known for, and some Microsoft games, but, it's a new era. Again, if you're going to tell a story, you need to put some effort into it. It's just basic writing at Kid.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's passable and entertaining enough, fine. Like,
Yeah, 'cause,
as long as the story's
and you
good,
don't-
it's good, but...
And you don't need a grand story either, because that's another pitfall that I see, be it RPGs or in shows and stuff, where people seem to think, like, we have to have this grand operatic story, and it's like, you can make just as an effective story by keeping it simple.
Yeah, like, and then there's another side of the argument with, Matt made a joke in one of the Super Gaming Brothers' playthroughs where he's like, you can't tell a Lord of the Rings type story with finger puppets. Which,
It's like, apparently you've never watched Dark Crystal.
yeah,
Just saying.
yeah, he clearly hasn't, but
I know,
think
but it's like,
the
you
idea behind
can.
it is that you don't want another Shadow the Hedgehog.
Mhm.
Like, we're not saying give a war setting for Pokemon, because it's very easy to make it look really stupid with these cartoonish creatures, goring each other. Like, you don't need to go that far, but your audience is mostly made up of 90s kids at this point.
Well, but it's funny because technically, Jordan, they did do that. It's called Conquest.
Yeah, true. But, I just mean, like, I don't mean to sound like a pompous asshole. It's just, I'm coming from a perspective that I'm also a storyteller.
Right.
Like, I'm making my own thing right now, so this is the stuff I'm learning that I'm imparting on anyone else who might be interested. If you're going to throw in some thought-provoking stuff, don't waste time and do it. You don't need to sugarcoat anything, and you don't need to be more than you need to be. Just go for it.
Yeah.
And again, with Game Freak going the way that they're going, they need to take their time with stuff now. They need to be allowed to do it too, which is another thing.
Yeah.
And they also need to be more in touch with their fans.
Yeah. Actually, Malik, I think I recall you telling me this one time. Like, I think it was on one of Brandon's streams where, like, I guess one reason why they aren't trying to, like, hire, like, say, maybe like other artists and whatnot, or like fans to, like, maybe give them ideas on what to do, is I guess apparently it's a pride thing.
It's a oh, fuck you, Game Freak.
Because, like, they don't want to take too much from fans. They want to make everything original.
It's like, it's not gonna be a power struggle unless you let it be. Like, fans love your series, so let them help you. Like, do a Sonic Mania for
Like,
for
I
all
mean,
we
I
care.
get why you don't want, like, to always, like, resort to fan stuff, because, like, there are just some fans
that's
where
another thing too. Like,
there are
you
just
don't
some
want
fans
it to
who,
over the line. Sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say, there are just some fans where it's like, you kind of don't want to take their advice.
Well,
Right.
That's the thing. I'm not saying go to fans. Period. And the
You
reason
gotta
I
go-
bring
you-
up Sonic Mania so much is because
You gotta go to the right fans.
Yeah.
exactly that you need fans who can prove themselves.
Yeah, in fact,
And
that's actually, I think, part of the reason why a good number of people did end up dropping off from My Little Pony after a while, because it was just,
what?
we're gonna take a whole bunch of things from the fans, and then it's like, oh, this is what we're doing now.
oh, okay. Well, I understand why people are scared of the prospect, because it's very easy to delve into that area. Sonic has done it a few times, but I also bring up Sonic Mania because that game was so good because it was made with fans who understood the core fundamentals of the series because they made their own fan hacks, which is another thing. As long as they're not profiting from it, I think fan hacks and fan games are totally okay. And it's one thing to be totally protective of your IP, which is definitely a legal right to have. But you could also see it as a way for job seeking. Like,
I think that's where, like, even Scott Cawthon, prior to the whole debacle that happened recently where he just pretty much left gaming altogether, prior to that, one of the biggest announcements that he had made that got people really excited was he was getting in contact with people that had made fan games that were clearly inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's. And he's like, I am going to, help you guys, because I want you guys to get the recognition that you deserve. So, I mean, he was putting his own money in and everything to give them, like, publishing rights, merchandising rights, like, all this other stuff, to help these people. Because he's like, hey, you guys have potential to be, future game developers, and I want to help you. And, I mean, he put his own money down on that. Now, again, that was, like, right before the whole controversy with him happened, but but still, apparently it got out that he was supporting. There were some political candidates that he was supporting that a lot of people took issue with.
Yeah, because they were anti-LGBT.
Oh. Yeah.
Right, and the point he was trying to make was, he was saying, I think it was, while he didn't support the LGBT stances that the candidates were saying, because again, he's very well aware that a large portion of his fan base belongs into the community, and he does love the community. It was just, he was trying to make the argument that, while no, I don't agree with their stances on the LGBT stuff, but I do like their stances on other things. So, yeah, they'll get my support there because I agree with them in some of these cases. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, no, that's not good enough. And but it was just, but I know we should be talking Pokemon, but
We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
I mean, Pokemon's about as controversial as politics, so you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, but it's but honestly, with the whole Scott Cawthon thing, what honestly surprised me about that whole situation when that went down, regardless of what you feel about his politics or whatever, it's not the first time that Scott had been caught in controversy, and he was usually a pretty chill and humble guy about it, and that's part of why people respected him so much. But with this latest one, this was just where he's just like, you know what, fuck you guys. And it really came like out of character for him, because it's like, whoa, where, like, cause he was getting like very like, vile and stuff towards it. It was like, whoa, where's all this coming from?
Yeah.
But I think he was saying, like, people were sending, like, death threats to him and his family and stuff, so it's like, yeah,
I'm guessing he lost his cool.
Yeah, people were taking it a little too far.
Right.
But bottom line, controversy aside, like, but yeah, even Scott was trying to help, fans out, because he realized the potential that they had. And it's like, yeah, I think like him, and yeah, and I think to your point, like Sega, I think those are like the first two that come to mind. Whereas like, yeah, I recognize that there are fans out there that clearly understand, like, they understand and respect the source material, and, let's help them out. Let's give them a shot. So it's like, kind of wish other companies would take that initiative.
Yeah, so my other example of this, another Metroid 2 remake. That stunt Nintendo pulled with doing a takedown of it was, on one hand, within their legal rights to do so. But on the other hand, the developer himself explicitly did not want any payment for his fan project. Like, he denied it outright. And he worked on it by hand, mostly by himself, because he loved Metroid and he wanted another Metroid game. So he's like, you know what? Let's remake Metroid 2 with Zero Mission's engine. And regardless of the status of it being taken down, it's on the internet forever, and you can download it pretty much whenever you want. But adversely to how Sega approaches fan games. Nintendo has always had a bit of a, I don't want to say cruelty, but more like
They definitely take issue with fan projects for sure.
they
Yeah,
definitely do, and that's archaic and hurtful.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
It definitely sucks. Like, 'cause I know you know what? Actually, it's interesting. Brian, remember, I was having like this huge argument, not really an argument, more like a debate, with a bunch of people regarding this kind of stuff. You know, like over Twitter, because there were a lot of people that that despise Nintendo for those kinds of actions. And again, I'm not gonna say that what they're doing doesn't suck, because like again, their effect. Because like, you know, there are people that are passionate about these franchises, and Nintendo doesn't really seem, for one reason or another, I'm not really sure. I'm not gonna pretend to know. But yeah, Nintendo just doesn't want this stuff to be out there for some reason, and like it definitely seems like they don't really have an issue with fan stuff. But
Yeah,
there
like, fan
are
art is
yeah
fine.
yeah but there are some things where I don't know. It's really because between the Metroid. You know, the Metroid,
Yeah,
and then
AMR.
like, things like Pokemon Uranium. It's like, you got me on those. I can't. I don't know why Nintendo wanted to pull those. I know, like, for like the Smash related stuff. Like, I know, like, the recent thing with like the Project M thing, or whatever, or Project Plus, whatever it was.
I think
There
it
was
is
so
Project
many
M.
people mad about that. But it's like Nintendo has also made it clear that they don't like, you know, their games being modded and then being publicized. So I just have to wonder. It's like, yeah, it sucks what Nintendo does. They're only shooting themselves in the foot by doing this. But the way I see it, why are I get people being passionate about franchises, but if Nintendo has a clear history of this stuff, why bother?
Well, again, with Metroid, it's a bit of a thing. So, this was way before this, the remake Samus Returns was put on the 3DS. There was also a bit of a gap between Metroid games, because the last one we got was to, if I'm not mistaken,
Fusion. Was it the Fusion
yeah.
or
No,
Uranus?
I'm talking about non-mainline games. Fusion was the last canonical game in the timeline. Metroid Prime 3 was, I think, the most recent game in the series. And then they released Metroid Prime Federation Force, which fans weren't happy about, because it was a spin-off, and they were, like, waiting for a new Metroid game, and then that's what they get, and then, you know, they got angry. And then this fan came out with AM2R, which was, you know, pretty much everything they wanted in a Metroid game. And then Nintendo got rid of that and then made Samus Returns a few, I think, years or months later. And
Yeah, it was months. Yeah, it was only a few months. So
yeah, it was only a few months. Like, I do love the game. I recently beat it. I got 100% items, and it was it's a good game, if a bit linear. But I don't think that was done out of malice. But and then it's like with Metroid, they're trying to make amends, because they know no one liked Metroid Other M. Oh, I was wrong. The last game that they had was Other M. And then it was Federation Force. And then Samus Returns. But anyway, back to the story. It's like with Metroid, because it's not as popular as Mario or Zelda, they're willing to make amends with the fans in some way. Because if you've seen the promotion they've been doing with Metroid Dread, they're staying on top of it. Like, they know people are excited for it, and you can tell they're excited about it too. So when it comes down to it, they know how to do damage control, but at the same time, they're also outsourcing for these Metroid games. So I don't think it's in-house. They're done by Mercury Steam. And if you don't know, they worked on the Lords of Shadow series for Castlevania. And Metroid Dread is their latest project. And I'll just say this right now, they know how to handle Samus. Like, that woman is badass, and you can feel her presence just by entering a room. Like, in Samus Returns, she no-look kills a giant robot. Like, wow. And again, the gameplay is really solid too. And in Metroid Dread, it's not only faster, but they're also coming up with new things like Seeker missiles. Like, that shit is dope. Anyways, sorry about that.
No, you're
I like
fine.
Metroid is fun.
I guess with the Metroid thing, you can probably guess that they probably didn't want the ASMR thing.
You mean AM2R? You
AM2R,
said
yeah.
ASMR.
ASMR.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I like
They
ASMR.
probably didn't want that going out there because they figured it would pull attention away from the actual Metroid 2 remake that they just happened to be making at the time. Because I feel like that was coincidence. That had to be coincidence. There's no way it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because with
Yeah.
Actually, if you
how
put it
quickly
like
that game was announced after that happened, that game was already in development for a while. So
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, a situation like that, you know, I can forgive. You know?
Yeah. Like,
It's like, you know, then there's situations like, you know, pulling away from Nintendo, like, you know, now, it's like, okay, my personal whipping boy, Square Enix.
Square Enix, of course.
So, years and years ago, there was I even hesitate to call it a fan game. It was definitely a fan project. But there was a group of people that they wanted to basically remake some of, like, a handful of the most iconic moments in Chrono Trigger. But they wanted to do it in 3D. You know, still following like the Akira Toriyama art style and everything. And they've been working on this project for years. Like, you know, again, they were not going to make a profit off of it or anything. And then they got the cease and desist from Square. And, you know, and they had revealed that, you know, no, Square had known what they were doing and had been watching them for months, if not years, before laying down the cease and desist. Now, you would think that, like, oh, okay, well, but if they're doing this to protect the IP or whatever, that's like, well, maybe they're doing something with it. But as we all know, Square is sitting on a mountain of IP, and they're not doing anything with it. And the Chrono series, tragically, is one of them. So it's like, you know, you get to a situation like that, and it's just like, it's like, why? You know, that's a situation where I can easily side with the fans and go, what was the point and all of that?
Guys,
You know, because you're not doing anything.
say hello to Cece.
CC! Hey, girl!
No.
I has the baby.
Hi, CC!
Yes.
She is Organa.
Yeah, that cat loves you.
She does. She did try biting my hand a bit when I went to pick her up. She's calmed down.
Yeah.
Actually, like play biting, or
I don't know. I guess it's because I did kind of just suddenly do it by surprise. So like she probably wasn't expecting me to do it, but like
yeah,
she
it was
calmed
either that or she got overstimulated.
down. Yeah. Cece likes to wake up and choose violence.
aw.
She's a good girl. Okay.
Oh,
let's go.
if we're talking another example of, you know, good companies doing good things for their fans, Spider-Man PS4. I just remembered it. You know the Sam Raimi suit is in the game?
which shoot was that?
The Sam Raimi suit. It's the first Spider-Man movies in like 2000.
Oh right, gotcha.
Spider-Man 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That was the one suit fans have wanted ever since the game introduced alternate costumes. And I think for the twilight of Spider-Man PS4's updates, that was the last suit that they developed, and it was free. So it was a really nice gesture toward the fans. I know it's not the standout example of companies, you know, throwing fans a bone, but it was a really nice gesture, especially considering that the suit is free and anyone can get it. It doesn't give you suit power, but you can add one to it.
You know what's actually sad? It just occurred to me as well. Technically, if you want to go for another big example of a company catering to fans, Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, because Smash is just filled with fan service.
Yeah, like
It's fan service the series.
yeah, but there's a problem with that one though, because most video games really only have to worry about catering to their own fans and to their for one franchise per. Smash Bros is it's a crossover series, so you got tons of fans of all these different franchises coming together, and then of course you have other people who want something else that might not be as popular and isn't being catered to. And I think that's where and I do feel like that's where a lot of the toxicity ends up like stemming from.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, because their more niche stuff isn't being catered. Even though Nintendo, the entire premise of Smash Brothers is, for the most part, catering to fans. Like, even, maybe not with the first game, but Melee for sure. Because a lot of how Sakurai chose the Melee roster was through fan emails. People requesting for characters, and he did what he was able to do. Like Bowser, I believe, was the most requested character for Melee, for another Smash Brothers game.
Oh, Snake was part of that too, but they just couldn't fix him in time, so they moved him over to Brawl and Sonic especially.
Sonic especially. Sonic was really hyper fixate requested. But like I think in Snake's case, that one was more so because Sakurai was close friends with Kojima.
Yeah.
Right. As most people should be. Shulk was definitely an example of something that was completely out of left field, and it was. If it wasn't for Smash, Xenoblade wouldn't be as popular as it is today.
Yeah,
So
him and Joker. Because no one was expecting Joker either.
yeah, like to Smash Brothers' credit, it did create Xenoblade Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, like say what you will about characters that obviously for the most part were added for advertisement purposes. Like Fire Emblem is the biggest example of that. But they do for the most part cater to what's most requested. They definitely do. Like hell,
They do.
like the fighter ballot I feel is the biggest example of that. And they even based a lot of who to add to Ultimate on that fighter ballot.
Yeah, like Bayonetta was, I think the winner overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the winner overall. Like, that's why we even have her, was because so many people wanted her.
Yeah, like completely ignoring the content in her actual games.
Yeah, like I think the biggest problem, and this is something that I've pretty much learned ever since I started my own What If series. Like, obviously, there's always the old saying, you can't please everyone.
You can't.
Obviously. But I think when there's such a large audience, I think that becomes more apparent because it's clear that there's just a lot of people that don't seem to understand how big the world really is and how many people there are in the world. And for some reason, there's just a lot of people that don't seem to comprehend, like, that don't comprehend that what they may like may not necessarily be the most popular thing.
Yeah, what you want may not be what they want.
Yeah. Or what most people want, I should say. Like, for the most part, the characters added to Smash is based on majority what is most wanted. So like, I don't know. But then you got the competitive scene, and that's just a completely different can of worms.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's an entire mosh pit of worms.
Yeah.
Like,
And they smell just like worms too.
Yeah,
I almost had a discussion with a guy the other day regarding how Nintendo handles like the Smash related fan stuff or whatever. I wasn't able to continue my conversation with him because I was in the middle of working on Spider-Man and I couldn't get distracted. And then like the next day when I was finished, like I tried contacting him again to see if he wanted to continue talking, but he never replied back. But pretty much his whole mindset is that he feels like Nintendo, this company that's infamous for trying to cater to most everybody. They feel like that the competitive scene gets slighted by them. And I'm not saying that Nintendo doesn't do that, because history obviously shows that for the most part they do try to they do try to stay away from competitive mindsets in their games. They prefer the party idea, like the family values and stuff.
They're just
And
limiting themselves.
And the competitive community, for the most part, does feel like, you know, they're only getting crumbs, or that Nintendo's taking everything away from them or whatever. And again, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, and I'm not saying that, you know, for the most part they're not allowed to be angry at Nintendo for that. But they do also have to remember that Nintendo does have to try to cater to everyone. That's usually always been their primary goals. And I think for the most part, competitive play can be pretty intimidating to some people.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I mean, I think there was also a reason why I stopped playing Smash Brothers. Not, like, ignoring how I react to playing the game normally, but because the game is just getting too big, and it's growing too fast, and I just couldn't keep up with it anymore. So even if I wanted to go back, I don't know where to start.
Like the guy that started the conversation, he tried arguing to me that it's not the fans that are being toxic, it's Nintendo that's being toxic, which, yeah, no. But I'm not saying that Nintendo doesn't do sucky things or could even do toxic things, but to say that Nintendo, like, not really wanting to support a competitive community is toxic, I don't agree with that. Like, I don't necessarily agree with Nintendo for completely slighting competitive players if they want to be competitive. But I do also understand, for the most part, why they do it. There are some things that are still a little iffy to me, but I do, for the most part, understand. And on top of that, I do feel like a lot of the competitive players they act like Nintendo takes everything away from them and they have nothing, but they also act very entitled, I feel. Because, like, even this guy, like, he was mad about Sakurai not adding rollback to Smash Ultimate. And I'm sitting here thinking, because rollback is only good for one-on-one games. It is terrible for party games. On top of that, the Switch cannot handle rollback. It just can't. Like, and actually, this is the thing that confused me too. I thought for a bit that Pokemon Unite used rollback. I guess it actually doesn't, because I tried looking it up what it uses and I couldn't find anything about it. So, I don't know. But yeah, like the Switch is not strong enough to handle rollback. So that, but ignoring that part, yeah, rollback is not designed for party games in mind. They're designed for one-on-one competitive fighting games. And when I brought this up to this guy, he was like, "Well, the casuals won't actually care if if their game if they start having problems because of the rollback. Just give the rollback, for us, competitive people." I was like, "No, the casuals will very much care because they're going to want to stop playing then."
Yeah.
Because guess what? Casual players, even if they're not the most dedicated to a video game, still want a good experience. That's why they're casual.
Yeah.
Because they can casually play the game with no issues.
Like it or not, Smash Brothers was built from the foundation of being a fun game where you throw shit at each other. Yeah, you throw shit at each other and you try to knock each other off the stage with, crazy items. Yeah, they're definitely adding more tools that are making them more traditional to fighting games, but fundamentally, it's still not a perfect system.
Yeah, like by no means am I saying the internet on the Switch is good. The online thing on the Switch has lots of issues.
It's better.
I don't think rollback is the answer though. It's just not.
Yeah, it's better than what we got on the Wii, especially, and I think the Wii U as well. But Nintendo, I've always said this when talking about them. In a lot of respects, they're stuck in the 90s. But
yeah, that's a pretty apt. That's pretty apt, I'd say.
Yeah, Chuck and Conroy said that at one point during the Runaway Guys way back in the day, and I just kept using that example ever since because it accurately describes everything wrong with Nintendo. It doesn't make them a bad company. It's just they're limiting themselves. And it also goes back to Pokemon and Metroid and all that when it comes to storytelling potential, especially because most fans in both those franchises are adults. Metroid more so, but if you look into supplementary material, for example, Samus, a lot of shit went down in her day. Like, she saw her parents die, Ridley was responsible for killing her parents, and, she's alone because she doesn't want anyone to die on her watch. The games don't really tell you that unless you look into, you know, the environmental storytelling, which is something it excels at. But imagine if they got dedicated writers and really delved into her psyche.
Yeah.
Which would fit the modern storytelling, you know, draw. But they don't do it, but they do well with what they have with Metroid specifically. But in some respects, they could do better. Like, apparently their definition of a bounty hunter is different. Like, when they were developing Metroid Prime 3, for example, the developers, Retro Studios, wanted to add bounty hunting missions, and they got a hard no on that because, oh no, Samus can't be seen killing people, even though bounty hunting is her job description. But that's neither here nor there, really. But it's one of the examples where I think, well, what if they did do that? Like, you can still have Samus be a hero, it's just her job allows for non-heroic things, you know?
Have Samus beat up terrorists.
Yeah, like, it's no different from Geralt from the Witcher series, you know, doing some really shitty things, but, like, he needs the money. He's a Witcher, it's his job to be a monster slayer. Like, if that means someone has to suffer and he can't do anything about it, even if he wants to, he'll take the money. You know, it's just one of those things. Like, it's not a damned if they do, damned if they don't situation, but more like, Nintendo is awesome and they can be even better. That being said, I'm so waiting for a Metroid animated series in the same vein of Castlevania.
Seriously.
Like, it deserves it. Like, as much as I love Xenoblade Chronicles, I can wait for an anime series on that. But Metroid, like, more people need to know about it.
Yep. Hello there, Gunnar Malone.
Hello.
Yeah, because that's like, oh my god, like the freaking Castlevania anime. That's like, yeah, because it's like, I don't keep up with the Castlevania series. I mean, I've played some of the games, sure. Like, I mean, of course I played Symphony of the Night, but, you know. But as far as, like, you know, the overall canon, the overall lore, fucking fine. To be quite honest. And yet, the anime, to my understanding anyway, it took most of its inspirations, I think, from Castlevania 3.
Yes.
Yeah, Castlevania 3 and Symphony of the Night. It's very loosely based off of it, though.
Yeah, loosely based, but they
Like,
still, but
here.
yeah, but they were still able to do, they were still able to make it, they were still able to do such a good job with it, and they made it very entertaining to watch. That it's like, I love that adaptation. That's like, I would love to see, like, yeah, that same animation studio, like, I would love to see them tackle other IPs if they were given the opportunity.
Yeah, like, the creator of the Castlevania anime did show interest in, the Metroid series. You know, giving it a similar treatment. Like, you wouldn't know it by looking at it, but Metroid's actually a really horrifying series.
Oh,
Like,
I'll believe it.
like, for example, what's it called? So on the way to Kraid in Super Metroid, you can find a shape that's, you know, covered with lice, like creatures. And as soon as you get close to it, they unveil a human corpse. Which is an indication, okay, maybe this person died, trying to fight Kraid and just got back to this point and collapsed. And another example of it, Metroid Fusion, pretty much the entirety of Metroid Fusion really, is environmental storytelling done perfectly. And it also illustrates how terrifying Samus herself can be at full power, which, guess what? You had your suit surgically removed at the beginning of the game because of the X-Parasite. Now it inhabited your old suit parts and is running around at full power. And now you're weak to ice like a Metroid.
And it's coming for you.
Yeah, she's coming for you and she wants blood. Like, granted, the SAX itself is super exploitable. Like, her AI is so stupid, but, the ideas surrounding it and their use of sound effects to, you know, low drones, strings, and, you know, synthetic instruments. Metroid is a series that does horror especially well. Cosmic and environmental and otherwise.
Mhm.
And the manga itself, detailing the first game, is legitimately a good, story. It's just what, the fault that people have with Other M is that they introduced, those elements too late. And it clashes with people's, perception of Samus herself. Okay, BJ. You know, they've always seen her as this, hardened badass warrior who, legitimately, is a, compassionate person. And she's really smart. Like, it's more than implied in the log entries when you use the scan visor in the Prime series. She wrote, it's implied that she wrote the entries herself. And, she's very descriptive and understanding of how the galaxy works. And she even designed her own gunship. Like, Samus is a very interesting character, it's just you wouldn't know that just by playing the games. Anyway, Jordan asks, so has anyone played Deltarune Chapter 2 yet?
BJ has.
Yeah, BJ has. I need to get on that. It's just, my God, like literally like this past like 2 weeks have been very stressful for me at work. So I'm just like, by the time I get home, I'm just like, I just wanna fucking relax. Like I don't want.
Like,
Yeah.
I've just been doing my own thing.
Oh yeah, Leafy on Live says, "Ah yes, Fusion, the battle against Samus and the saxophone."
Oh yeah, I called her that a lot. Actually, Metroid Fusion is another game I need to do a restream of. Like, I'm kind of upset that I won't be able to do it before Metroid Dread comes out, but that's why I'm doing Metroid Dread, because it is coming out in October.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens to be scary itself. Because if you guys have seen the trailers, like, what the fuck is happening to Samus? I'm scared for her.
Oh yeah.
Like, every time something happens, she freaks out and spazzes out.
By the way, Ryan, I have a thing I want to share with you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm posting it in the chat. So, this was something that happened in Unite earlier today, and I'm glad I got it recorded and uploaded on Twitter.
I want this.
Pay close attention to the Lucario and Wigglytuff's levels, by the way, in comparison to mine.
I'm sorry, what?
Wow. Destroyed.
I
You went from a Froakie to a Greninja. Like, holy
You were
crap.
basically a gnome sorcerer up against a fucking adult red dragon.
I love how when I became Greninja, that Wigglytuff's like, okay, I'm out of here.
Still waiting for that Josuke and Hull Horse spinoff.
Oh God, I can't wait for that too.
Wait, that's real?
Yeah, so after JoJolion has just ended. So part 8 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is done. Rocky has confirmed that he's doing, I guess, like a spin-off I don't know if it's going to be like a one chapter deal or if it's going to be a little mini series or something, but it's going to be a spin-off, and the main characters for that is going to be Josuke from Part 4 and Whole Horse from Stardust Crusaders. Talk about the most like mishmash combination you can think of, but yeah, that is going to be a thing.
Like
He
Howard
did,
the Duck and Spider-Man.
or something. He did make a comment saying like, you know, we'll see you in JoJo Lands or something, which a lot of people are saying that's possibly the title for Part 9.
Oh, I'm happy for you, Mr. Maniac. I may not understand it, but I'm happy for you. Madness Day over on Newgrounds is tomorrow, apparently.
Okay.
I wish we could say more than just okay, but like,
I
if you're
don't
passionate
keep
about something, that's great.
Yeah, it's just I don't really keep up with what's going on Newgrounds. I'm aware of I mean of course I'm aware of some things like Friday Night Funkin' and such, but that's literally it.
Yeah, I haven't been on Newgrounds since Mom told me not to watch. Not for lack of trying, but no, but like, if you're passionate about something, I don't get to really say these on streams because not everyone shows up. That's okay. That's their choice. But know that if you really care about something or if you're really excited about something, don't let anyone take that away from you.
Mm-hmm. It's like to give Newgrounds some credit, they're probably the one site that's like, if you wanna like, you know, they're very friendly for animators. You know, because it's like, yeah, people still make high quality animations and post it on Newgrounds. So it's like, so yeah, like if a possibility of seeing some new up and coming talent in animation may possibly be on that site.
Has anyone played WarioWare Get It Together yet?
Nope, but I am sick of seeing the ads on YouTube.
Oh.
I swear to God, I get so many ads for this fucking WarioWare, and it's like, I get it.
We're gonna be guys by the hand and bring you over to a screen, and we'll watch it, binging it tomorrow. I got a stream tomorrow. Sorry.
Wait, you're streaming
Also,
Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm thinking of trying to stream more often because the 3-day formula has kind of been stabbing me in the back recently.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, if the Miles corruption thing was any indication. I got the game to work, by the way, guys, so we'll definitely be good on Friday. But tomorrow and the day after that, I'm gonna be streaming more comic stuff because, you know, I put them off long enough. Like, those 3 pages need to be done so I can upload them on Tapas.
Man, fuck Connor.
Yeah, fuck you, Connor. That's what we named my PS4, by the way. Fuck you, Connor, you racist shitbag.
Yeah, it's like, I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah.
I am too. Like, I've done so much preparation, guys, you wouldn't believe it. But, there was this... I won't say what it is for the sake of spoilers. But in Curse of Strahd, there's an area that's the second biggest compared to Castle Ravenloft. Castle Ravenloft has like, what, 62 or 52 quadrants to it? It's the biggest area in the game, so we'll definitely be doing that last, so I'll be changing things around a bit, just so, you know, Roll20 doesn't crash. But there's this town that has all these events and characters attached to it that I had to prepare for. Like, I had to make lists and everything. But not only that, I also prepared some cool ideas that you guys will likely be introduced to come Saturday. But I will say this, I want you guys to use your money more often. I don't want you to just hold on to a treasure hoard like you did in the Abode.
Yeah.
You know, had all this money with nothing to do with it.
That's true.
I also have another mechanic that I would like to introduce to you guys. But when we get to it, we'll get to it.
It's like, yeah, I hear all this talk about some of you trying to stream more often, getting stuff prepped up for planned streams like during the weekend. And I'm just sitting here trying to slowly get stuff prepared from a technical standpoint and getting myself mentally prepared for what's to come this October.
It's
Oh, no,
spooky
no
Needle
worries,
Geek.
man.
Yep. it's
I
that
can't-
time again.
I know, it's like I love Spooky Needle Geeks. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy streaming whenever we get the chance and stuff, but I think like I think like one of my favorite streams that we've been doing has been Spooky Needle Geeks. Even though it's been Ryan who's been playing the games, just like being there and participating with them and such, it's like Spooky Needle Geeks is so much fun.
Yeah,
It really is.
Like what was that game that you were playing where like we ran into the bug or something? Like we kept watching like this doll or something crash into a wall.
It wasn't
Oh.
Parasite Eve, was it?
Layers of fear, yes.
There's a fear, okay.
We literally must have spent 10-15 minutes just watching this thing crash into a wall over and over again, and we just thought it was the funniest fucking thing.
Now
Oh
that
man,
I'm
it's like, I
free,
was just
guys,
bullshitting around, and then the next thing you know, I somehow exploited this glitch that I'm gonna go ahead and assume was basically like an already well-known thing with the game. But seeing as how it was the first time I was playing this, I had no idea. I was just bullshitting around, and then this freaking like this imaginary baby or child just kept running into this freaking wall to the point where it's like it was just like rows of the same child just ramming into the wall. It's like they were just running into the wall like circus seals.
do you guys have that somewhere? That I can
Let me. I gotta find it.
Yeah, also, now that I'm more free because, well, as of yet, I don't have a job yet, but I'm more so okay with that because I've got streaming on the side. But, mind if I join in on the fun? Because I think it's been a while since
Absolutely.
I've had a proper stream with you guys.
Yeah, by all means. I mean, it's like, hey, it didn't stop you from, oh my god, it reminds me of, I think it was like a couple years ago. I think it was when I initially, when I officially, like, took off with Spooky Needle Geeks for the channel, and you were a part of, the one playthrough during the time of the park.
Parasite Eve.
Parasite Eve?
Well, Parasite Eve, but earlier than
that was the
that,
big
there was the park.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
'cause,
know,
like,
with
'cause
the
we
with the
did-
murderous squirrel mascot just popping up
'cause-
like.
Yeah, because we did that. We did Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yeah, that was the other one.
I know you did the first Little Nightmares, and I'm hoping you're gonna do Little Nightmares 2 this time.
Oh, for sure. I feel like a huge portion of pretty much Spooky Needle Geeks this time around, as much as I want to do like as many ideas as I can. Honestly, I'm feeling like the biggest theme for this year is doing a lot of like follow-ups, like a lot of sequels. So yeah,
Okay.
Little Nightmares 2. It's like, oh yeah, I'm hoping I can get around to playing that game.
Nice.
And then you have
Double
Resident
the
Evil
food,
8
double
with
the fun.
Lady Supersized Bitch.
Haven't heard that one
I
yet.
still need to at least try to beat Resident Evil 1
Yeah.
and
if
2
you're
for
gonna
that matter.
do it, yeah, if you're gonna do it, well, Resident Evil 1, you can go the classic one if you want, but Resident Evil Remake is also really good. Well, both of them.
Yeah,
are
if
really
it-
good,
Yeah, if anything, I was probably gonna go ahead and try to tackle the Resident Evil remake because I know
Yeah,
I tried
definitely
playing
do.
that like quite some time ago on my PS4, but man, I was lost.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I was pretty lost in the mansion too when I played. But once you get used to it and once you follow a guide, it's not so bad. But if you're gonna pick anyone, pick Jill. She may not
Yeah,
have, she may not have a bigger health pool like Chris does, but honestly, she has more to play around with. And I think she's more beginner friendly than Chris is, because honestly, Chris doesn't have much in the way of replayability. I mean, he has a lighter, and I think he doesn't take as much hits. Oh, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It took me some time, but I at least found the time. Yeah. It was like
dear.
half. It was half. We were halfway through this game, and it's like, yeah. We just thought this was the. We just thought this is the funniest fucking thing.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, it is possible that if I have the time, you know, I could very well try to see if I could get my hands on Layers of Fear 2.
Oh god, there's
God,
a
it has
sequel.
Yes, there is a sequel.
Please tell me, does it have dolls crashing into walls?
I don't remember. I've only seen the game in action once, and I think that was like a couple of years ago.
Oh, I think I see what's happening.
Like it's scripted to you can tell like the game is set up so it's like, okay, when you walk when you hit a point, it triggers it. But it's
so
like
you can just keep
it's
doing it
code-
over and over again.
Yeah, and that's what Ryan's literally just moving in this space back and forth, like triggering the event of this doll crashing into the
I'm
wall.
gonna show the chat this. Hang on, guys. Okay, here you go. Just copy and paste that.
We just thought this was just the funniest thing. It's like we're trying to be. The game's trying to be scary, and we're just losing it
So this is
because we
definitely a
found this
NAR
one
moment.
point.
This is definitely a NAR moment. Layers of Fear, everybody. You summed it up perfectly.
And I'm fearing.
I'm fearing for the coding of this game.
Yep.
Doesn't seem very stable.
Also, speaking of really good games, Psychonauts 2.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
still need to play the first, and I also need a PS. I don't need a PS5. Although I don't trust my PS4, but
Well, it is available for PS4, but it is available for Steam, and that's how I was playing
Yeah.
it.
But you know what? Connor is such an asshole that if worse comes to worse, I may have to reinitialize the damn thing. Because the thing can barely play God of War 4. Like, I swear, every time I try to play God of War 4, it has one problem or another. It would, like, freeze on the dumbest shit. Like, dialogue trees, and, it would even crash at some points. So, like... I like to think that my PS4 is stable to a degree, but I wonder and worry for its health overall. So it's a wonder that I was able to get through the entirety of Spider-Man PS4, although that's another game I need to restream, because I feel like I can do much better than what I did.
Yeah, it's like let me see. Mr. Maniacs, he's proposing maybe sometime in the future, the Binding of Isaac.
Oh, and he also said, Crystal reminded me Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion would be interesting.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
But Luigi's Mansion 1, 2, or 3?
Yes.
All 3?
Well, sadly, I only have the first Luigi's Mansion, like an actual physical copy of Luigi's Mansion 1.
Oh, well, that's something.
Oh yeah, it's like aside from trying to see if I can squeeze in some follow-ups from previous Spooky Needle Geek playthroughs, like, you know, Little Nightmares, hopefully Parasite Eve. Yeah, it's like I know it's like another part of it is like some highly requested ones, Luigi's Mansion being one of them. Yeah, amongst a couple of other ones that a lot of people have brought up previously, especially ones that are like, well, no, duh. Oh, and Crystal Star, it will be for the GameCube. Unfortunately, I have no means of capturing like a 3DS software.
Yeah, and that's what stopped me from actually doing a playthrough for these guys, because, like, yeah, I found an emulator for it, but it just wouldn't feel right. like, I want a means to record 3DS games. Well, 2DS in my case, but, there's so many good games on, the 3D and 2DS that, it's frustrating that Nintendo, didn't... That no one has found a reliable means of recording footage off of it yet. Like, still to this day. And the only people that, could do it now are, like, closed down. How about Eternal
No,
Darkness?
it's fine. It's like you can actually play our games. You can play our older games without an emulator. Just go to like a GameStop and get a used copy. It's like, bruh.
It's like,
Like,
you go.
not
You
our
see,
point.
you see, you go to the GameStop. It's like, okay, I want a copy of this old game. Oh, sure, that'll be $200.
It's like, I'm sorry, what? Another thing too is that I need a TV with an S-Video port. I don't have an S-Video port on this TV, and according to my parents, we kind of threw out those old TVs with those ports. So I'm like shit out of luck when it comes to recording like Pokemon Emerald. Like I finally got a GBA player, like I think almost a year ago now, or several months ago. But I just don't have the means of recording it because my TV doesn't have a little plug for the S-Video cord. So I'm shit out of luck there. Which sucks because most of my favorite games were on like the N64 and you know, the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. So I'm not very tech savvy, so if I can't get a TV with an S-Video port, I'd at least like something that I can use to still get it in the system, if that makes sense.
So, how be Deku Ninja looking?
Hang on, it has a cat.
Yeah, let me have a look. See.
It has to be Pikachu's favorite food item. It has to be cat soup.
Okay, I see the freaking screen like you're painting like zoomed in or whatever. I'm like, are you? Wait, hold up. I thought you were drawing Greninja. I don't recall you drawing a Wailord.
It's all doing detail. Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Man, imagine Wailord in Pokemon Unite.
He'll just take up the entire freaking stage.
Oh, guys, can you remind me to give Brian a Wacom tablet for Christmas?
Actually, no, Ryan. See, Wailord is the next stage coming. You just fight it on the back of a Wailord.
Oh God. But yeah,
Okay, I call
Red Bull
it out.
work.
If we're gonna seriously go that far, next stage needs to be Pokefloats.
Yes!
Ah!
Yes!
Yeah, Pokefloats. Yeah, that'd be a good stage.
It's like, fine, Smash won't have Pokefloats. Pokemon Unite will take it.
But yeah, Jordan Carroll
Yeah,
also
that'll
brought up
show
Eternal
'em.
Darkness as a Spooky Needle Geeks game. Like, bar none, that would be a great one.
I'm back.
Hello.
Oh, hey BJ.
So,
Hey,
yeah.
welcome back.
Hey, so this is how the image be looking. Also, BJ, we state that Pokefloats should be in Pokemon Unite.
Actually, you know what I find hilarious? Actually,
Yeah.
so regarding Nickelodeon Brawl Stars, when they revealed Ren and Stimpy, they also revealed Ren and Stimpy's stage, which is like this floating like space theme stage, which is very reminiscent of Pokefloats. Hate it. It's like, so all you guys are just demanding for Pokefloats, and then these guys come over here and give you a Pokefloats at stage, and you hate it? Like, come on, guys.
You're not real fans.
Like they hate that there's stage variety in their game that's in their game that's supposed to be competitive and kill Smash, guys, right? Oh, by the way, the last character got leaked too.
Oh yeah.
It's Toph.
Toph?
Toph.
Yo.
Lord?
I'm okay with that.
Yes. Yes.
She is not Toph, she is Melon Lord!
So the final roster before DLC, because they said that they are interested in DLC if the game does well enough, but so the final roster is gonna be 20 characters. It's SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Lincoln Loud, Lucy Loud, Ren and Stimpy, Powder Toast Man, Cat Dog, Reptar, Aang, Korra, Toph, fuck, her name is blanking on the monster, the black and white candy cane monster.
Oh,
What was her name
God,
again?
I know who you're talking about.
Danny knew her name, but yeah. And then Helga, Hey Arnold, Nigel Thornberry, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and then April O'Neil.
Oh, Raph and Donnie aren't here?
No, it's no. There's no sign of it's not gonna be Dapper. They only chose 2 of the Ninja Turtles, the
That's
leader
disgusting.
and
Yeah, that's.
but then they
weird.
added April O'Neil. Which I find pretty funny. I think that's it. I might be forgetting somebody.
Like, why wouldn't you put in Raph first? Like, he's literally the brawler. Well, okay, not the 80s version, but in most interpretations he is.
Thank you.
Like, he's the grumpy fighty boy. Like, why wouldn't he be here? I mean, Leo is...
And alongside Leonardo, no less. Like, come on.
Like, yeah, you can actually play as that one scene in the 2007 Namaji movie where Leo and Raph have a fight, and Raph nearly kills Leo.
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. Invader Zim, yeah. Oh, and Danny Phantom. So, yeah, okay, there you go.
Oh, yeah, Oblina. That's her name. If I recall, some of the Ren and Stimpy animations are references to the adult party cartoon. I don't want to be reminded of the adult party cartoon thing very much.
I will say, why not put in Rango?
Would Rango fit?
Yeah, Rango's Nickelodeon.
Who was Rango?
The chameleon dude.
Yeah, the chameleon, voiced by Johnny Depp.
From what
Yeah, in that Western movie.
Yeah, it's well,
No,
it's a movie.
Yeah. CGI.
Oh, that CG one with the rattlesnake whose tail was a gun.
Yes.
Yeah, Rattlesnake Jake.
Yeah, that was
Voiced by
Nickelodeon.
Bill Nye. Voiced by Bill Nye, I think.
Yes.
So Barbosa.
I still wanted Otis from Barnyard.
Yeah.
Otis would be great.
Actually, no, that wasn't Barbosa, Jordan. It's Davy Jones.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Here's actually the interesting thing that I find about the Nickelodeon game, though. This game is very clearly targeted towards adults, despite it being a Nick show about a show about Nickelodeon kids cartoons. And I say that because most of its roster actually does comprise of 90s cartoon characters.
Yeah, like if they're going as far as Powdered Toast Man.
Like, literally, SpongeBob's a weird one because SpongeBob's been around, is still around to this day, so you can say SpongeBob caters to everybody. And I
Same
guess
with
you could say the
TMNT.
same about the Ninja Turtles, but the fact that they chose specifically the original cartoon designs for the Ninja Turtles, I think
Yeah, the
speaks
80s.
volumes.
I mean, if they wanted to go a step further, they could have gone with the original Image comics, which would have been kind of hilarious considering how violent they are.
Yeah. And then I guess you could say Korra. It's technically nowhere. The Korra was what? That was late 2000s or early 2010s?
I want to say late 2000s, maybe eking on early 2010s.
Okay. Because I know Danny Phantom for sure was a 2000 show because that came after Fairly Odd Parents. But then yeah, the only characters that are really from newer shows are Loud House characters. Lincoln.
Yeah,
and Lucy.
definitely Loud House.
I found out actually some fucked up shit with Loud House. Apparently the Loud House fandom is really toxic.
Yeah.
Oh shit, ew.
Because from what I've been told, from people that brought this up to me, apparently, like, in the premise of the show, the only the only characters that, like, for a while were like the actual like Loud House like the actual like siblings of the Loud House themselves. So like the premise is that we have Lincoln Loud, you know, and then he has like 9 or 10 sisters.
Yeah, he's the
So-
only boy in the house.
Yeah,
Next
so
to his dad.
because of that premise, everyone was like, there was tons of fans that were shipping Lincoln with one of his sisters. So yeah, it's gross. It's super gross.
Extremely.
Like how you guys you don't need to ship every character.
Like, it's like you haven't seen terrible shipping unless you've seen Turtle Cest. I didn't want to know about it, but the internet just shoved it in my face.
It doesn't incest already is gross enough, but it doesn't help that it's also a pedophilic incest, considering that I think with the exception of one of the sisters who is 18, like she's the oldest, which tells you that the rest of them are minors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
no, how about you don't do that?
Yeah, how about you don't do that and you leave Earth, rethink your life, and never come back.
Just let
Start your life in a new galaxy.
let the kids be children. Stop subjecting them to this.
Yeah, exactly. Let
freak.
the kids be children.
Yeah, you freaks.
And if you can't accept that, then die. Anyway.
Damn.
Well, I understand the 80s cartoon is the most iconic one. I'm surprised that none of the TMNT characters are referenced to the 2012 and the Rise Up, since they're both from... 2012 Ninja Turtles would have been another good choice, but, 80s is more recognizable, so I can see why they went with that.
I think that just goes back to what I was saying before. How this game is definitely catering more towards the older crowd. Like this is definitely for people that are like, they're older and they're probably going to be more like this is definitely for competitive players. I would say for sure.
Oh yeah, totally. Which is so weird.
Though I
Competitive
will
players who have income.
I will at least commend them that they obviously aren't totally catering towards competitive players because they are making stages that are going to end up getting, like if this game ever does become competitive, they're going to get banned immediately. Heck, honestly, I think there's only one confirmed stage that I can think of that would actually be tourney viable, and that's the default SpongeBob stage because it's literally just like a basic.
Oh yeah, the jellyfish fields.
Yeah, because it's just like one like Final Destination platform or like stage with like one moving so it's like Animal Crossing, the Animal Crossing stage.
Yeah,
that's what it really is.
It's gonna be wild if this game makes Evo. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna be
Yeah,
be
really.
naming April and Leo.
I am
Seriously,
Reptar.
Melee fans will be pissed if Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl got in Evo.
I'm
like-
a Reptar main theory. Well, no, I imagine there's going to be a lot of Melee players who do want to go to this game because I would like to think that because I'm sure a big reason why a lot of Melee players went to Melee because they just they like Nintendo. So I would like to think that a lot of those same people will also maybe like Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I know some of them have actually been making videos on it, like Mewtwo King has, and Hungry Box.
Like,
That is so bizarre.
I'm probably gonna stream it a few times. Like I don't think I'm gonna make any videos dedicated to it, but I'll probably stream it doing it.
What if they were in Nicktoons? No, we don't need that branch.
I already made the joke about that before. Like, hey, what if Mario was in Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl?
That being said, don't get me wrong, I'm very interested in the Nickelodeon Smash. I think it's probably just from the experience of what happened with PlayStation All-Stars, because again, that one was looking very promising when they were advertising it, and then the game came out and it just fell on its face.
I
And
think
it's like I really don't want that to happen here. Like, I'm already seeing people that they're saying that, oh, this is going to be the Smash killer. Look, you're not going to kill Smash.
no.
It's too big. It's been around for too long. So it's like, yeah, no, there's not going to be like a party-based fighting game that's going to overthrow Smash anytime soon. That being said, I would not be opposed to having another one that's like it to, offer a little bit of competition, because competition certainly doesn't hurt.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Like Nickelodeon, I feel like is going to be able to stand on its own for a while. I don't think I don't think the same thing will happen to here as it did PlayStation because PlayStation's biggest problem was its roster. It was missing a lot of the big names, and a good number that they did bring on. People were just really questioned for the most part. Like I think the Dante thing was a big one for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, yeah, Dante from
I think that ended up being
the
PlayStation's
series.
biggest problem. But then it was also the fact that I think the PlayStation gameplay, like it was obviously party based, but I think for the most part it got repetitive pretty quickly for a lot of people,
Yes.
just based on its general gameplay style.
Oh, hi,
Like
Kratos.
this is definitely a little closer to like traditional like the traditional, we call it the Smash style, but I think the best way to describe the I guess the platform fighter that is Smash Brothers is party sumo wrestling.
Yeah.
Party sumo wrestling. That's
Because
new.
it's based on ring outs.
Yeah.
You know
just
what?
like
You're
sumo-
totally right.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
sumo wrestling.
That's not inaccurate at all. In fact, it's accurate.
Yeah.
It's accurate.
So like I feel like because like people for the longest time, idiots out there keep saying when a new Smash style like sumo or whatever comes out, we had Brawlhalla, Rivals of Aether, Slap City, which the Slap City guys are the same guys making this game. People are saying, oh, this will be the Smash killer, it's so much, and then it ends up dropping off the face of the earth. Like, I don't think that'll happen here
Yeah,
because
this one shows promise, which is the most bizarre part about it.
well, not just that, it's the characters. Characters are what sell these kinds of games. Now, Brawlhalla did end up eventually adding a bunch of cameo characters, but I think the fact that they started out with like, a bunch of original characters kind of hindered it at first, and that's why it didn't really pick up any real traction. This game, I feel, will be fine, especially if they keep up with it. Like, because, people love Nickelodeon. So, of course, and especially if they do keep adding characters like they say that they would like to, I'm sure it will keep traction. And the gameplay does look like a lot of fun. It's definitely breathing its own kind of charm with like the unique gameplay styles and such.
I love how the
Definitely-
characters. I'm sorry. I love how the characters can turn around at any given point. You don't have to fucking double tap it just to turn around.
Yeah, like the strafing, the only thing that I am worried about with this game that might hinder it a little bit is its presentation, and I'm not faulting it on that one because the game was under budgeted. They already confirmed that. Like they couldn't even get voice acting, though they did confirm that if they can get a budget for it later on, they would love to add voice acting. But the presentation overall, I do feel is lacking, and under budgeted or no, that people don't care about that in the end. They only care about the final product that was given. And like the sound quality I feel definitely is pretty soulless. The animations for a lot of the characters definitely could have used way more polish. Cause I think Maximilian Dude actually put this best. He a lot of the animations feel like they're missing frames. Like they happen way too fast, way too sporadically. It feels more like keying than it really does like proper animation.
Oh.
So that I think, and on top of that, this is actually a personal nitpick of mine, considering that I literally make theoretical movesets for a living. So many of the attacks are so samey, and I'm not necessarily talking about like amongst the entire roster. I'm talking about like amongst the individual movesets. Like if you look at like SpongeBob, for example, like a lot of the characters, like their like grounded attacks are mostly identical to their aerial attacks. So like SpongeBob's like heavy neutral attack is him swinging his jellyfish net forwards. What is his heavy neutral attack in the air? Swinging his jellyfish forwards. Like Patrick's light up attack, it's him pulling out a Krabby Patty and eating it. What is it in the air? Pulling out a Krabby Patty and eating it. So like the attacks themselves definitely are unique, that's for certain. But they keep reusing a lot of the same attacks like within the movesets themselves, like for each character.
Yeah, so it's like they're just basically doing one move but stronger.
Kinda, not quite. Like because unlike Smash's 2-button system, Nickelodeon's gonna go off a 3-button system, where it'll have light basic attacks, heavy basic attacks, and then special attacks. Now you'd think that would mean that there was more attack variety compared to Smash, but there actually isn't. It's actually around the same because it's each button gets 3 inputs: a neutral, an up, and a down. There is no sideways. And then there's also 2 dash attacks, one for light, one for heavy. So really, it's like math. So like so there's 3 lights, 3 heavies, that's 6, and then 3 aerial lights, 3 aerial heavies. That's 12. 3 special attacks, so that's 15, and then 2 dash attacks, which makes 17. Yeah, and then every character has a universal type of grab. Like they all can just pick up characters or can walk around. So, best way to put this: every single character in the game has Donkey Kong's cargo throw.
Huh.
That's just the basic default throw. You can pick characters up, walk around with them, jump with them, throw them in the air. You can even pick them up in the air, which is cool. But yeah, like the character movesets actually have the same amount of moves as Smash Brothers does, but Smash Brothers tends to make character movesets have more variety in their actual animations and what every single individual attack does. Whereas for the most part, every single attack here for each character is the same. I should say mostly their grounded attacks are mostly the same as their aerial attacks. So most of their lights are the same as light grounds are the same as their aerial grounds or aerial lights, blah. And their ground heavies look different from their light ground from their ground lights, but then their heavy aerials look the same as their ground heavies. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Also, XJ9 Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot would be an awesome addition, and oh god, Tak from Tak and the Power of Juju. Who remembers that?
I do. I actually get requested for that character a little bit. Not that often, but a little bit.
Huh.
Because he was technically a video game character first, so.
Yeah, that was certainly a game and a show.
So there's a channel that I watch every now and again called Wicked Binge, and they like to do top lists and such. And they actually recently put out a video from at least in their opinion, ranking the worst and best video game adaptations. And at the very bottom of the list was Tak and the Power of Juju.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because they're saying because they were judging, they're judging by how where does it take the inspiration from? Is it faithful to the games and stuff? And Tak, I don't know shit about that series whatsoever. That was past me.
Game, although,
but
horrifyingly, I've seen more of the show.
Yeah, but basically they were saying the show did not do the games justice at all, to the point that it pretty much killed the series. Yeah. The show performed that poorly. And they actually made a note on that list, because of course number 1 on that list, the best one was Castlevania.
Yeah.
And they even made the comment saying they found it interesting how Tak and the Power of Juju, was what it was a show that killed its own series. Meanwhile, the Castlevania Netflix, quite frankly, is the only thing that's probably keeping Castlevania alive at this point, because it's not like Konami gives a fuck.
Fuck you, Konami.
Stupid pachinkos.
Care again. With great power comes great responsibility.
I just like to imagine Jordan's just poking Konami with a stick, going come on, care.
No. Blue from Foster's Home, when he's just going, come on!
Speaking of which, there is actually one other worry that I have for Nickelodeon, and that's one of the big things that they're heavily advertising for this game is a lot of the competitive related features that they want to include for it. They already confirmed wave dashing is a thing, various competitive, related things like that. But a big thing that they're also trying to do to sell this game is that this game is going to have rollback netcode. Now, the thing too is that actually, not every version of the game will have this. I think the Switch version is one of those that will not get rollback because, as we already established, the Switch can't handle rollback.
Yeah.
So, another reason why. Anyway, but I'm worried about that because while rollback is great, you know, if you have on a one-on-one setting with a stage that has nothing going on in it, and when both people have good internet, then it's cool. But it's not actually. It's not. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Rollback is not like this end-all be-all solution to fix everyone's terrible internet problems. If you have bad internet, then rollback isn't going to help that. And if anything, it'll only mean that you're more likely to lose. Think of rollback like a rich person.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
it is only going to be beneficial for those that actually have good internet to be able to do it, because rollback is designed, you know, to effectively give a playback of everything that's going on screen. So if someone lags, then it'll be able to replay everything that happens. But if you have bad internet, that doesn't mean shit, because then it's still gonna be laggy. Meanwhile, the other guy with the good internet is gonna be sitting there just winning all the matches against you because he's not having any lag at all. So it actively punishes. Rollback actively punishes you if you have bad internet. But on top of that, rollback is usually designed only for two people. So I'm wondering what's going to happen when you have players that do want to have free-for-alls, you know, or I don't think the game's even confirmed items, but we are confirmed to have stages with like with hazards and such, movable stages and the like. I don't know how rollback's going to handle that, because the same people that tried arguing to me that, you know, Smash should have rollback because fuck the casuals, like all that matters are the competitive. So again, toxic competitive people, you know, they confirmed to me that, because like if you remember the mod that someone made for Melee, like a Melee emulator where they gave it rollback, it only works on one-on-ones, like Final Destination like stages. If you try playing that with free-for-alls on big stages or with items on, it breaks. It just doesn't work. It gets really laggy. Rollback only works for one-on-one. And that's what I'm really worried about here with Nickelodeon. Because if they want to make this party game that can also, you know, obviously is catering towards competitive, but is still trying to have a casual aspect too, the casual people it's going to die really quickly. The only people that are going to continue playing this game are the super competitive ones, and that's even if they want to keep showing an interest. So we'll see. That is a huge worry that I have for this game, because it does look like a lot of fun. Like, you know, my earlier reps of our presentation aside, the gameplay looks fun. So I am worried to see if some of the choices that they have for this game are only going to bite it or not.
So, I want to say, I think I'm finished up with this pace.
Hey.
Awesome.
Very, very nice.
Who is that? Whose silhouette is that on the right?
Oh, that's supposed to be Talonflame.
Oh, it's, hang on.
Yeah, it's because Talonflame's wingspan covers a lot of its body.
I guess.
Yeah, like I tried.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I see it.
Yeah, because I tried like with the beak and like showcase like a bit of like I guess the pompadour it has.
Oh yeah, for a little bit, my brain was registering Eslo from the Minish Cap,
Yeah.
but
I thought it was like a decapitated unicorn head.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like Talonflame is probably just one of those Pokemon with not the greatest silhouette, because like it's a Falcon.
Yeah.
Like it really is like just it is just a Falcon. And I just like the idea that Slowbro like doesn't even really move or anything for its silhouette. It's like it just kind of dies brain dead.
no, it dies T-posing.
I still love the joke that they made for Slowbro and Unite, where they finally introduced his summer wear, but they did it in fall, at the beginning of fall.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
Slowbro's
yeah, like timing.
It's like Slowbro's all ready for the. It's like Slowbro's all dressed for the occasion, and now he's ready for fall.
Yeah.
And now we have Gengar in a spacesuit.
I hope Gengar doesn't run into any necromorphs.
Mr. Maniac says, "Oh hey BJ, since you're here now, figured I'd let you know something. Considering how many requests for Hank J. Wimbledon you've been getting recently, Madness Project Nexus is coming out this month, specifically on the 29th. Just saying that is your big ticket for a Hank moveset if you don't count games on Newgrounds, official creator or not."
I'll see.
Okay. Also, Crystal Stargirl says 1 more week till her birthday. So
Happy early birthday!
Yay!
Yeah, so I think this is where I'm going to cut things off for my stream. So thank you all for coming. I'm glad we could talk about the Pokemon stuff. And I think more appropriately, we should end off of telling people what our favorite Pokemon is.
Espeon. It's okay, Patrick. Take your
I
time.
know. I know. That's like, dude, I got several.
Mine's Flygon.
BJ's
Awesome.
Flygon. And for mine, you're looking at him.
Greninja.
Yeah, Greninja. And, welcome
Ryan
back,
died
Ryan.
before he could he died before he could give his answer.
Yeah. Andy's on mute.
We're just gonna assume he loves all of them.
Yeah. So thank you all for coming to the stream. I hope you all enjoy that.
Huh?
Oh, he said Haunter.
Haunter? Yeah, okay.
He just unmuted just to say Haunter. that has the same energy as by Odin's beard.
Mr. Maniac says, no, BJ, it's Shiny Flygon.
Bazinga.
Bazinga. That's not a Pokemon.
Brian, what'd they tell you about leaking Gen 9? Okay, but yeah, thank you all for coming. Hope you enjoy yourself. Have a fantastic night, evening, or day whenever this is happening. Stay safe, wash your hands, get vaccinated if you can.
Wear a mask.
Yep, and see